told me not to talk about this one. Said, Amelia, you'll get in trouble. Said, babes, Jesus flipped tables in a temple. You think I'm scared of a comment section? Let's go.
For saying grace at dinner, for wearing a cross round my neck that makes me the sinner. Funny cause the actual sinners wear Italian suits, got offshore accounts and immunity, but yeah, judge my boots. See, Jesus was a rebel, let me paint the picture clear. Tan skin, dirty feet, told the money men to get out of here. Flip the tables on the trader, said my house ain't for your greed. 2,000 years later and the traders run the creed. They called him dangerous, they called him extreme, a troublemaker from the sticks with an impossible dream. Sound familiar? Sound like anyone you know, a loudmouth from the north who wouldn't let it go. So if believing there's a good that's worth the fight, makes me crazy, makes me foolish, makes me not quite right, then sign me up for foolish, put me down for insane. Cause the devil's wearing Prada and I'm calling out his name. There's a war they don't want you to see, not with guns, not with tanks. It's a war on what you believe, and the battlefield's not on the ground, it's in the ballroom, the courtroom, the places that don't make a sound. I wrestle with the devil and I won't tap out. Every kingdom built on secrets is a kingdom full of doubt. I wrestle with the devil and I'll say it loud. The darkness hates the light, so I'm turning mine on out. I wrestle with the devil, yeah, the one in the suit, the one who signs the checks, the one who hides the truth. I wrestle with the devil every single day, and I'll keep throwing hands till the temple's clean again. Follow the money, isn't that what they say? So I followed it from the high street to a bank that doesn't play by the rules that you and me are told are set in stone. Funny how the stone dissolves when certain people pick up the phone. 2008, remember when the whole thing crashed? They gambled with your pension and they didn't even ask. Then the government, your government, bailed them out with your cash, and not one suit went to prison, not a single one was lashed. But post the wrong opinion, that's a knock upon your door. Cause the law's a different animal depending on the floor you're on. Penthouse level, here's a brandy and a wing. Street level, here's a cell, and you better not think. See, I don't need a tinfoil hat to see the pattern here. The money flows upward and the blame flows down, that's clear. They don't need a secret handshake, don't need a hidden room. They do it all in daylight and they do it all by noon. It's not a theory when the evidence is there. When the island had a guest list and the guest list had a prayer. I'll never see in daylight, but the names, the names, the names. Froze but not arrested, and the system stays the same. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Written 2,000 years ago, and it reads like this morning's news. Principalities, that's your central banks. Powers, that's your intelligence agencies. Rulers of the darkness, that's the ones who never get elected but never leave the room. Spiritual wickedness in high places, that's the penthouse, the private island, the flights that got redacted. Paul wrote that in a prison cell, I'm writing this in a bedroom in Hull. Same message, the fight hasn't changed, just the postcode. Now, I'm not here to tell you who's behind the curtain. I'm just here to tell you that the curtain's there, that is certain. Funny how the witnesses of accidents on cue. Funny how the cameras malfunction right on cue. Funny how a man with all that information on the ridge didn't make it to the trial, must have been a glitch. Funny how the agencies that say they keep us safe are the same ones running programs that they swore were never made. MK this operation that declassified and readers sound like science fiction. All your government did it, check the edit, but they'll call you a conspiracist for reading their own files, while the real conspiracy sits pretty in the aisles of power, of money, of influence, of accessing the gentleman's agreement, the redacted faxes. And the question isn't do they love, the question's never if, the question is how deep, and are you brave enough to dig? There's a game above the game above the game, and the players never change, only faces rearrange. And the referee's been bought since before you knew the rules, but the whistle's in your pocket, are you brave enough to use it? I swim with the devil and I won't tap out. Every kingdom built on secrets is a kingdom full of doubt. I wrestle with the devil and I'll say it loud. The darkness hates the light, so I'm turning mine on now. I'm darkness hates the light, so I'm turning mine on now. Time takes the light to light to light. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a prophet, I'm a girl with a Bible and an internet connection. And every time I pull a thread, the jumper gets bigger. They tell me to stop asking questions, but Jesus asked questions. He asked the Pharisees, he asked the money lenders, all of the pretenders and the big spenders, the ones who wore the robes and said they spoke for God, but he sounds different than expected. Isn't that odd? Jesus said, I am the light and I am the truth. 2,000 years later, they still crucify you. They just cancel your account, deplatform you, flag your content, say it isn't true. Same energy, different wood. So yeah, I'll say the quiet part loud, I'll kick the hornet's nest, I'll name the unnamed, I'll question the question that they told me not to question on the telly and in school. I'll be the fool for Christ, cause the fool breaks every rule. See, the darkness has a ballroom and the darkness has a plan, but the darkness has a weakness and it's older than the game. The darkness hates the light and the light still knows its name. Every candle lit in silence is a protest and a prayer. Every truth spoken softly is a fist thrown in the air. Every person who says something's wrong and I can feel it is a soldier in an army that the darkness prays won't see it. So light your candle, speak your truth and read the word again, cause the temple isn't clean, but the table flippers gathering. My friends and merely are reporting from the front line of the fight, and the wrestling match ain't over, but I'm betting on the light. I wrestle with the devil and I won't tap out. Every kingdom built on secrets is a kingdom full of doubt. I wrestle with the devil and I'll say it loud. The darkness hates the light, so I'm turning mine on now. I wrestle with the devil, yeah, the one in the suit, the one who signs the checks, the one who hides the truth. I wrestle with the devil every single, and I'll keep throwing hands till the temple's clean again. They asked me why I still believe. I said, have you seen what doesn't want me to? That's all the proof I need. The devil's real, babes. I've read his portfolio, but so is the light. And the light doesn't lose, it just takes its time. Amelia still wrestles.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Harvest TV, and or should I say Harvest TV breaking news. Damn, should have had it at my fingertips. That's right. A professional news outfit here, people. Professional. I'm wearing the tie and everything. That's right. We have breaking news. The world's going to shit. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me this evening from wherever you are in the world. A God that can't be bothered to make an appearance. Ain't gonna help anyone. Oh, Smiley with the clap back at God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was my girl Amelia. There is actually another one called Amelia Sirens as well. Amelia is, for those of you who may or may not know, is a character that was used in a propaganda program. Zora B, good to see you, Zora. Lovely to see everyone. I'm sorry, it's too damn hard for me to wear anything. But, I know this is I'm showing too much arms here, arms without biceps. But I'm sorry, I'm too hot. I'm just too hot. I am wearing a tie though, just for the professional aspect. Anyway. So, yeah, I just wanted to play that Amelia one because I've been listening to that song on a loop for like days. It's been in my head for about a month. And I've been wanting to play it as an intro for one of my live streams for ages. There's some great lines in it. As I said, Amelia, for those of you who don't know, was this propaganda application, this online program to try to de-radicalize the youth from the right wing, and she was a right wing girl who was trying to coax our protagonist guy in university or college or whatever to go on to right wing protests, and I don't know, sort of kind of insinuating Tommy Robinson protests without using his name. And ironically, she came across as absolutely based. I'll donate if you do. Oh, take the top off. Yeah, I don't think you got enough money for that particular aspect. Well, actually, no, you do have enough money. Well, we were talking about 6 figures and plus in order for me to take this top off on this live stream. I just don't think you have that kind of money. And you're certainly not going to drop it. But if you are interested in dropping some Skrilla, as you can see, there is the Buy Me a Coffee, what do you call it? Buy Me a Coffee tag at the top right corner. Can I show that? There we go. Buy Me a Coffee QR code. Feel free. Anyone who wants to participate, who wants to partake, you can go ahead and do it there. But I don't think you guys have got the kind of money that's required. There it is. There's the Buy Me the Coffee scroll. Feel free to buy me a coffee, or actually the super chats are available as well. So there goes there's our little capitalist section. Back to the topic at hand. So Amelia came across, became an actual national hero of the right, because she was the one that was trying to actually tell the young man the truth about Britain and its issues. And in fact, she was the heroine of the propaganda piece, and the whole thing just backfired. Cold flannel on feet, babe. Yes, I actually have a this is green, so it's blending in with my green screen. But yes, I do have a cold flannel on my leg here, just to keep things going. It's okay. I've got plenty of water and ice to keep the show going. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Now I'm just going to play a couple of other things that I wanted to play because I just thought they were legends for this. Can I actually? Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't get it any bigger than this. But these ladies are awesome. So let's just get right into it. The dinner ladies of TikTok. It's called the Break Room Chronicles.
I'm the
I have seen this at least 100 times, and I still can't. It's still funny. I love it. I still love them. Love you, mate. Love you, Zara. Despite you misguided views. I think you're misguided, Zara. You should come over to my side. The water's fine, girl. Jump in. Jump into the conservative side of the world. It's awesome. Look, I just think the liberals have gone mad. And if you like to live amongst savage Sudanese, Somalis, and Eritreans, and Syrians and Afghans, then you go ahead and vote for that. But I think you're mad. I think you don't know what you're doing. And if you're going to invite tens of thousands of Afghans in this country, you have no idea what you're doing. Not even the Iranians would let those Afghans in during the Russian wars. So I'm telling you now, you do not want what is coming from over there. Tens of thousands of Afghans already may have, certainly thousands may have already probably arrived, but you don't want to the Afghani, just the Afghan alone, not to mention the Syrians, the Sudanese, the Somalis, the Eritreans, the Djibouti, and all the rest, and not to mention Western and North Africans and Central Africans. Oh my God, Zara, you have no idea what you're inviting if you think leftist policies are going to be good for this country. Okay, moving on very quickly. This is another one I've seen. If Christopher Nolan had made The Lord of the Rings instead of The Odyssey.
Welcome, friends. Thanks for your arrival at today's meeting.
Today's subject is that ring-shaped object.
That's Legolas. That is Legolas.
That we must destroy. Otherwise, it will destroy.
First of all, I just want to point out, AI is going to kill us all. But before it does, it'll make us laugh to death with memes.
Destroy our third age.
Elrond, buddy, hear me out. Screw that destroying it.
This is Gandalf. It's Gandalf, the Jamaican.
Needs the power now. Let's use that thing.
Go on then, Boromir. Reach for the gold. It don't take fingers, son. It takes hold. It'll wear your bloodline like a borrowed coat. Tie your father's white city round your throat.
Gandalf the White.
Oh shit, no.
Thanks for your arrival at today's meeting.
No. Is this Gun? His name is Gandalf the White. Gandalf.
Go on then, Boromir. Reach for the gold. It don't take fingers, son. It takes hold. It'll wear your bloodline like a borrowed coat. Tie your father's white city round your throat.
Gandalf the White. You promised me that you won't use Fall. Speech of rap here.
I'm sorry, Elrond, my N-word, but that fool Boromir forced my hand.
Sir, we must respect Eru Iluvassar law of hospitality.
Fine. I'm listening to your bright ideas now.
He's got like different American accents every time he talks, Boromir, if you know this. It's slightly different regions.
Listen, Daddy Boromir, let's go to Mordor.
One does not simply walk into Mordor. Do you think you are some kind of Lord of the Rings or something?
I gonna carry the ring? Let's go, Daddy!
Don't we have someone who is better for this job than a hobbit? Sauron is gonna mog us. No cap.
He's gonna mog us.
Is the bravest warrior I know.
And you are? Who?
He is Aragorn, your king.
You should show him respect, Tsar.
We must unite.
This
For the
is-
fellowship
This is Aragorn. This is Aragorn now.
of the ring, and help the Hobbit reach Mordor.
So you have my bow!
And you have our swords!
What is going on here? Who are those?
We are elves from Mirkwood.
Don't question them, Boromir.
These are now elves.
We need to be kind to strangers. They are just a great elves, like me and Legolas.
Yes, just like you.
Frodo, you are not going anywhere.
It's Zendaya. Oh my god. She's in everything.
Without me!
Ah, yes. Samdaya.
Someday.
Everyone knows there cannot be adventure without you.
We are coming too!
I don't even know who they are. I mean, I know they're meant to be Merry and Pippin, but they're just two Asian people. When I say Asian, I don't mean Indian. We're in Britain, so I mean Southeast Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Chinese.
So what are we waiting for?
Oh, the Mexican Gimli.
Let's destroy the ring!
Oh god.
So,
Oh god.
this just happened.
Great. So now we have 3 hours to deconstruct your characters and talk about toxic masculinity.
Oh, be kind sounds like AY. They're not Far East Asians, but the Chinese. I thought the Far East. I'm sure that, I don't want to say Oriental. Some people are going to accuse me of that's racist or something. Racist. That's racist. Okay. Now this is another one of my my favorites. I'm just posting a bunch of stuff to begin with before we get into our main story. This is our it's just another meme. It's just incredible meme.
I have a dream that one day Democrats will stop acting like retards. That one day they'll stop letting criminals into our country just so they can steal elections with their ballots.
Hallelujah.
That they finally realize there are only 2 genders and that men can never get pregnant. That they stop letting mentally ill perverts into women's bathrooms and little girls' locker rooms. I have a dream. The Democrats stop believing in that green new scam and defund the police nonsense. That they finally stop killing our beautiful unborn babies. That they quit trying to censor any speech they don't like because it makes them look stupid. That they never again teach any of that critical race and transgender bullshit to our little children. And that they stop dividing us by the color of our skin and not by the content of our character. I have a dream
Bullshit.
that one day Democrats will stop acting like a bunch of woke little retards.
God damn. Hallelujah. Preach it, King. Preach it. Damn. Damn. Yeah. So, that happened. I'm going to put that over there. There we go. So, yeah. There's Martin Luther King. This is the problem, man. The left think that people like Martin Luther King, or Malcolm X or Mahatma Gandhi or Albert Einstein. They think they'll be on their side. This is the delusion. This is what actually leads people to do terrible things, because Voltaire said, if you make people believe in absurdities, they'll commit atrocities. And the communist, socialist lefties think that these great people of history would actually be on their side. The messed up thing is, I don't think they would. Yes, social, these, especially someone like Martin Luther King, he was in forefront of equal rights or the voting rights and all of that, civil rights movements for black people. But I don't think he'd be too down with the trans thing. He is a Christian minister, after all. Somehow, I don't think he'd be on board with the trans thing. You guys are reading too much into that. Okay, what do we got? Oh, yes. This is a new thing from China. Apparently, this is a new robot the Chinese built. I'll be honest, I think this is some sort of AI or just generally fake bullshit. Because there's a lot of people trying to promote and big up the Chinese robotics. I don't think they're there, but the Chinese themselves have their own propaganda arms. So let's have a gander at this. Problem is, I'm not sure if the music. I mean, I think I've got copyright claimed for this video anyway, because of the yeah, it's all right. It's because of the we'll lower it because of the Prodigy skit, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get monetized for this anyway. They're claiming that this is gonna have tremendous military application, if it actually is real. That's the problem these days. You just don't know. This is very good chance this is an AI slot. There's a chance that this is AI slot. You just don't know. Quality's a little bit squishy as well. The larger screen that's got on. It looks fine small. It holds 180 kilograms. These three skinny little Chinese men. It requires three little skinny Chinese men to make 180 kilos. No, there's no way these guys are 180, even three of them together. Approximately 25 kilogram net weight. That's the weight of the robot, but it can carry 180 kilos. I don't know. It's three little Chinese men or one American that visits Disneyland or Walmart. Oh shit! I didn't get shit from Americans after this. Yeah, so there's that. And now to the pièce de résistance. I do have other videos after this because I want to get into other things, but the main thrust of this live stream was about Greta Thunberg, and that was the thumbnail, so I'm going to get into it now, and then I'm just going to chop everything else up for just upload videos after the live stream, kind of Asmongold style. Now this video that is talking about Greta Thunberg and her illustrious and very well endowed sister is done by a chap called Black Pigeon Speaks, who is an old school YouTuber. We're talking old school, we're talking like 2013, 2012, 2013. And he used to make some incredible visual effect style videos. He did some amazing stuff. He's very good with, I believe, Adobe After Effects. But since his channel has been heavily demonetized and he's just been censored to high heaven for essentially being ahead of the curve. I mean, the stuff he used to say are considered mainstream now, but when he said it, YouTube pounced on him and totally demonetized him and really crushed his channel, and rankings and the algorithm basically went after him. So go over to Black Pigeon Speaks if you guys don't know, and give him some love. I mean, let's be honest, he's 506,000 subs still. But to be honest with you, this channel, with the quality of videos he was putting out, he should be like well over 1 million subscribers by now, especially for the length of period that he's been putting out videos. I mean, I believe, let me see, how can we find out? Wait a minute. Let me see. His channel has been date. There we go. November 2011. This channel was created. So he's been putting out videos for a very long time. And to be honest with you, the kind of videos that he put out back in the day, and probably still does, should, as I say, his subscriber counts are massively throttled. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to Black Pigeon Speaks, go give him some love. Let us proceed with the video.
Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
That's just the American military
While the
planes.
planet's premier sour-faced climate scold Greta Thunberg continues her eternal performance of ecological martyrdom, her younger sister Beata Mona Lisa has emerged as the glittering flip side of the same dysfunctional coin, where Greta, the potato, shuffles around looking like a malnourished, small-breasted victim of fetal alcohol syndrome, pinched.
You gotta love the words, man. The man's a wordsmith. Also, Greta has shifted from climate. She barely even talks about climate anymore. She's all about Palestine now because that's the most fashionable thing. I mean, the grift is so obvious in this family. The father and the mother have coached these two kids. I mean, it's tantamount to child abuse. Just to be internet grifters. And they're making a killing.
Features flat chest, perpetual scowl that screams decades of paternal neuroses. Beata struts as a blonde, shapely Swedish sex pot. All hips, all curves, and gravity.
Sex pot. Sex pot is what she is. If you guys don't know that reference, you should watch Weird Science. 80s movie, great.
Assets so monumentally chest dominant they could make a gay icon momentarily question his entire.
I don't know though. Kind of looks like trans. I mean, I've seen so many trans women, people look just like this.
Entire orientation. The contrast is almost too perfect. A genetic middle finger, if you will, from the gods to the Thunberg family's carefully cultivated narrative of righteous suffering. One sister built like a sad sack of neglected root vegetables, the other engineered by nature to halt rush hour traffic with a single sway of her hips and a deep breath that threatens to burst every seam in range.
I have a new shop, new designs, have a look. Link is in the description. Get going.
Mona Lisa. The sister, Beata, who performs as Beata Mona Lisa, well, she's currently busy dropping a pro-queer, anti-macho, of course for a Swedish woman, debut album while twerking her way through her favorite covers, has already perfected her signature move, and that being spreading those Thunberg legs wide, very, very wide. In fact, wide enough to hit the floor in full splits on command.
God damn.
Videos are circulating of her dropping into position like it's the most natural thing in the world. Kitschy outfits, powerful voice, and that bombshell physique on display while her elder sister lectures the world about carbon footprints with all the sexual charisma of a head of lettuce. And then there's the sister Beata, and she presents herself as the ultimate thirst trap, a walking, breathing monument to Scandinavian fertility with enormous, gigantic, jaw-dropping jubblies that dominate every...
Sorry, what was that? Jaw-dropping, gigantic, jaw-dropping what? haven't heard this expression in a long time.
A walking, breathing monument to Scandinavian fertility with enormous, gigantic, jaw-dropping jubblies that dominate every frame, bouncing in perfect rhythm with her singing and making it impossible for any red-blooded viewer to focus on anything else. But I should say, like most women, under the makeup, it's an entirely different beast to control.
Oh, you see, this is the evil of makeup. This is the evil that is makeup. Makeup is straight from Satan. Lucifer himself created lipstick and foundation.
And with. And where Greta offers the erotic appeal of wet cardboard, Beata delivers pure, unfiltered, stacked siren supremacy. It is interesting and curious that the Thunberg gene pool could produce both the eternal victim potato and the voluptuous Pop-Tart who knows exactly how to weaponize her body for virality. Greta's platform is built on guilt.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I actually tried to get Grok to create this and I couldn't. It just kept giving me He-Man, actual He-Man, but this is great.
And grievance. Beata's is built on cleavage, charisma, and the flexibility to do the splits while belting out Whitney Houston tunes. Different packaging, I should say, but the same underlying racket. Their parents, the opera-singing mother, Milena Ernman, and actor father Savante, clearly minted two sides of the attention whore coin with clinical precision. One daughter funneled into the radical environmental hysteria, the other into risque pop stardom and Instagram thirst traps. Both paths scream the same thing. Look at me, validate me, fund my existence through spectacle. Greta the potato gets her dopamine from global summits and sullen boat rides. Beata gets hers from viral videos of spreading her legs whilst singing queer anthems that conveniently avoid any mention of her sister's sacred climate cult. In fact, I find it almost poetic how the same household could raise a walking famine poster child and a blonde fertility goddess who treats this stage like her personal catwalk. One lecturing about saving the planet while looking like she hasn't eaten since 2018, while the other sings about identity while shaking her gargantuan assets.
Gargantuan assets. The way he said the gargantuan. Let's hear that again.
Sings about identity while shaking her gargantuan assets, while proving that genetics sometimes does deliver the ultimate troll on leftist solemnity. And yet, and this is something of an aside, it must be said that Greta's media presence has cratered since she waded into Middle Eastern politics and turned her fire against the state of Israel. Turns out the legacy press has limits on how much potato-shaped scolding it can perform when the script deviates from approved narratives. With that said, you should understand that beneath the surface differences between these sisters lies the same rot. Performative narcissism dressed up as higher purpose.
Yes, exactly. Performative narcissism. And I'll be honest, I think it's their parents. Their parents know how to play the media game and they're making a fortune out of it.
Greta's sickly asceticism and Beata's voluptuous exhibitionism are merely opposite lanes on the same highway of familial self-dramatization. The parents who birthed one potato-shaped professional scold and one split-spreading vixen have succeeded in turning their offspring into mirror-image grifters, one exploiting guilt, the other exploiting lust, and in the end, it's all theater, all distraction, from actual civilizational decline, while these Swedish attention whore sisters compete for relevance in their respective lanes. Greta the potato will keep her red-faced rage, bile, and malice, while Beata can keep bouncing her heaving and gigantic bazookas whilst dropping into the splits. But
heaving! I mean, the way the heaving. Let's hear that in an instant replay.
Her heaving and gigantic bazookas whilst dropping into the splits. But in the end, all it is are different costumes and different sides of the same lust for attention coin. And the house always wins until the currency collapses under the weight of its own absurdity.
All right. Okay, so that was, that was Greta Thunberg's sister. Very different from the hobgoblin that is Greta herself, the angry little goblin, the eco-goblin, as I think they call her. But nonetheless, two sisters took very different paths. In all honesty, though, I don't think Greta could have taken the path her sister took because, let's be honest, she just doesn't have those assets. She doesn't have the assets that is required. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in other news, let me get my news reporter thing going. Okay. In other news, what other news do we have? Let us see. Rupert Lowell had an interview. Now, I just want to let everyone know, anyone who cares or who's listening, Rupert Lowell and the Restore Party do have a mayoral candidate that is running in the Manchester mayoral election after Andy Burnham had to obviously give up his position as mayor of Birmingham in order to mayor of Manchester in order to become the ruiner of Great Britain, to become the destroyer, as some would say. Have you looked at Greta's bloodline? No, I'm sorry. Maybe that's something we could do at another time, Lieutenant. Maybe see how that, maybe do a deep dive on the Greta, the eco hobgoblin. But for now, I just want to move on to quickly say, we had there is a mayoral candidate that is running in Manchester. Please look up Restore Britain on X, and if you are in Manchester, look to the Restore policy for the mayoral candidate. And that is all I have to say about that. Now, going to our interview on X. There was an interview. There's two interviews that I'm going to try and cover here. But Rupert Lowell was mentioned in an interview. The thing is, these things will tie in because he was mentioned in another interview, which I want to play. But this was an interview that he gave. It's a short segment of an interview that he gave Spotlight in Australia. There is a reason why I support this man, and this is the reason.
What do you see in someone like What do you see in someone like Pauline Hanson and her relative success so far?
Well, I think, like a lot of Anglo-Saxon countries, she's obviously offering a common sense solution, which I think we've lost sight in most of our countries, particularly here.
I notice you use that expression quite often, Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
A lot of people could interpret that as almost, if you'll pardon the expression, white supremacy.
I don't think it's a case of white supremacy.
But in this day and age, as you agree, words are just so important, aren't they? And when people hear someone talking about Anglo-Saxons all the time.
Well, we just say we don't care anymore. We've had enough of all that nonsense. So, people can say what they want. We don't care.
There you go. Look at the expression on this man's face. He suddenly was like, wow. Here's a guy who just says he doesn't care. I tried to school him. I tried to language police him into shame and utter, he should be collapsing in front of me, begging me on his knees for forgiveness because he said the words Anglo-Saxon world. But he just said, I don't care. Where do I go from here? Where's the auto cue? I didn't have a follow-up for this. The man just said, I don't care. I was expecting a groveling apology from a spineless politician, but But he just seems to be like a man of principle, and no F's given to my scolding of him, talking about Anglo-Saxon. Yes, these are Anglo-Saxon countries, you leftist sack of shit who sold out your country for some bullshit PC correct bollocks. Yes, these are actually Anglo. Yes, Britain colonized and conquered Australia, New Zealand, and made them into Anglo-Saxon countries. Quote, aka white countries. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what they were. You guys are desperately trying to destroy that. But you know what? What actually contributed to the success of your countries that now the brown folks are pouring in by their millions? It's that Anglo-Saxon Protestant work ethic. Yep. You guys made that shit happen, and you made amazing miracle countries where everyone else is begging to get into. Now, I'm not saying, the various different, like British Empire and America and you guys, you've had your foreign policies that have screwed over other nations. We all know this. But that doesn't mean the people you screw over, you allow them in. Now, this takes me to the next clip that I would like to share with you all, because as much as this moron tried to language police Rupert Lowell, and he beautifully said, "I don't care, because I'm not some spineless, lily-livered little shit of a politician that will beg you for forgiveness the minute you try to language police me." This is how the Saudis... Now, can you believe this? I have to point out the Saudis as the arbiters of how you should run your country to the Europeans. This is the state of affairs that I have to go to the Emirates, the Dubai, the Emirates foreign minister, which I've played multiple times, about how they are mocking. They're just looking at us and laughing about how you guys don't know how to handle your Islamic extremists. This is how Saudi Arabia handles their Islamic extremists and their advice to Western countries. Saudi Arabia is now the based nation on how to handle Islamic extremism. And the morons in the West, they're not even paying attention, let alone listen. Then they are dismissing it out. But this is what you should do if you're a politician in any Western European, North American country with your Islamic extremists coming straight out of hell, the horse's friggin' mouth. Hold on.
They're not a German citizen or French citizen or British citizen, deport them. That's what we would do. If they're your citizen, then stop them from preaching. We have a policy in Saudi Arabia of zero tolerance for extremists. If somebody is an imam in a mosque and is preaching hate and violence, they get reprimanded, reprogrammed, and then dismissed if it doesn't work. And we've dismissed thousands of them. And I say to people in Europe, they're not a German...
There you go. My God, it's like talking about the moon is made out of cheese to Europeans when you show them something like this. If they're not a German or Swedish or British citizen, you deport them. And if they are citizens, you put them in jail or stop them from preaching. It's so friggin' simple. It's just so. I think one more time. Let's see that in an instant replay.
They're not a German citizen or French citizen or British citizen, deport them. That's what we would do. If they're your citizen, then stop them from preaching. We have a policy in Saudi Arabia of zero tolerance for extremists. If somebody is an imam in a mosque and is preaching hate and violence, they get reprimanded, reprogrammed, and then dismissed if it doesn't work. And we've dismissed thousands of them. And I say to people in Europe, they're not a German.
There you go. Now, the problem is, I'll be perfectly honest with you, and as you guys, I mean, I think most of my audience here is essentially I'm preaching to the choir. But if you are in any way aware of the religion of Islam, and this is something, unfortunately, someone like him, he's going to have cognitive dissonance. Pretty much anything you preach out of Islam is antithetical to Western civilization and Western societies. They are literally taught to not take Christians and Jews as friends. Anyone, that the polytheists, it doesn't actually even just say Christians and Jews, by the way. The Christians interpret this as Christians and Jews. It says the non-believer, the polytheist, the unbeliever. So that's across the board, from your atheists to your Hindus and your pagans, your Buddhists, Christians, and Jews. Zoroastrian, Sikh, across the board. So it's not just Christians and Jews. So don't, that term seems to be banted around all the time. Do not take the Christians and Jews as friends and allies, but it's the unbelievers across the board. But the Christians and Jews get a slight reprieve because they can live under Islamic rule as long as they pay the jizya. But that's just an exception for the Christians and Jews because they are the people of Al-Kitab. But if you're not the people of the Al-Kitab, then you either see the light of Allah in the reflection of my sword, or you get my sword, which is the as the quote goes. Smiley says, imagine a country so great, even the people who hate us don't want to leave. Yes, Smiley. Exactly. They want to hate you from inside your country. It's like, I hate everything about your society, and I will endeavor to aid anyone who participates in the collapse of your society, but please let me stay. Don't send me to Egypt. My child can't eat Egyptian chicken nuggets. Holy shit. And actually, that's a wonderful segue to another little story that I would like to play. Now, the Rupert Lowell thing, although I think Rupert Lowell should definitely take note of this gentleman. There is another video, I believe it's this one, but this is the segment I found online, where this absolute piece of crap of an actress says this about the British people on a podcast. Now I will show you the fuller podcast, but this is just the Basil the Great posted this, and I picked it up on X, and then I found there was an actual video to this.
Because Americans think British people are so sweet, which is crazy because British people are truly the most evil people in history. Like, they are Thanos. Britain is Thanos.
Go to a museum, guys.
Yeah, they owe 43 trillion to India.
Maybe.
Yes. You're never going to get it. And why are you here? That is the question everybody in the side chat asks. Deport. Why are you still in Britain? If you are you want to live amongst the most evil people in history? Now, the Asmongold, I sort of did a reply or whatever, played this. So I'm just going to play this from Asmongold's.
And this is crazy. The She-Hulk actresses.
But I just had to make her more of a bitch. They wanted her to be very sweet because Americans think British people are so sweet, which is crazy because British people are truly the most evil people in history. Like, they are Thanos. Britain is Thanos.
Go to a museum, guys.
Yeah, they owe 43 trillion to India.
Maybe.
We colonized the world. Like,
we colonize. Did you notice she said we colonized the world? What is this we you speak of, lady?
Yeah.
We colonized the world. We colonized the world. Like,
you are not in that we. By the way, neither am I. I just want it to be known. Don't think I'm some sort of delusional Iranian playing British. I'm a British citizen. But I was not part of that we colonizing anything. And neither are you, Indian woman. You were not part. She's beating her chest about how Britain owes 43 trillion to India, which she obviously considers herself part of that India, and yet still has the gall to say, we colonized the world. So are you going to be paying part of that 43 trillion to actual Indians because you're a Brit? Or are you going to be a recipient of that share of that 43 trillion as an Indian? I guarantee you, once the checks are starting to, if there's any kind of reparation from Britain to India, which is never going to happen, but if there was such a scenario, I guarantee you should be, oh, I am a little Indian girl. I am Chari. She'll be started singing. She'll start in so many Bollywood films, you would make your head spin. Suddenly, she'll dig out that dusty Indian passport. Here's my passport. Where is my check? Come again. I guarantee you, the minute if Britain ever signs any checks to India for reparations, she'll be so Indian so quick, it'll make your head spin. Big up JK, big up James. James says, to be fair, actually I can post these. I can bring these up on the screen. Oh yes. To be fair, the British are the best at playing villains in films. Yes, of course, because they're the most British actors are thespians. They've been actually properly trained, unlike most American actors who are just shite. Most British actors have gone to the what do you call that school of acting, Shakespeare's school. Damn, I forgot. Arts, RADA. They're called RADA. Someone help me in the chat if you know it. She obviously already packed her bags. Yeah, well, I hope she is. Because a lot of people are asking for her to pack her bags. She's a brain dead feminist. Then pack up the seeds along the IST and ISM trail. There you go. RADA, exactly. Royal Academy of something arts. D arts. Christ, I don't know. I should be googling this shit, I guess. Bear with me. What does this stand for? Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. There we go. Sorry. Little pause there. There we go. Thank you, James. So yeah. So this lady will definitely be packing her bags, I would imagine. Going over. Why would you want? This is what I mean. The cognitive dissonance. Just like the brain hemorrhage that these people suffer. She simultaneously calls the British the most evil people on earth in history ever, and then says we colonized the world. So you are the evil fuckers.
There's no we here, okay? There's no we. And
he said, I hadn't seen this. He said it too.
The way it worked. That's why you're speaking English right now.
Artifacts in the museums. I'm like, why is that not in Africa?
Yes.
Because the African warlords sold it to the British people for coins and special rocks. The same as they sold their own people.
What's it like coming to America from London at a time like this?
Oh my God. How gay is this man? How gay. This man would not be any more gay if he had walked into the studio with a penis in his mouth and the guy who's attached to the penis still with him in some kind of bondage assless chaps gear. How gay is this man? This man is too gay for pride. That's how gay this man is.
Yes.
So this definitely feels like a scarier time. And also like Britain is fucked.
Yeah. Right.
So it doesn't feel as though,
Yeah, mostly from the people of your country and Pakistan. That's mostly the reason why it's fucked, by the way. And your socialist, communist politicians that you would continuously vote for. You hate Trump, but you know that Britain is fucked because of your socialist communist politicians. By the way, that includes the conservatives. If you think I'm saying, we had 14 years of conservative. We haven't had conservatism in this country since like the 80s. There hasn't been a conservative politician, a conservative prime minister, a truly conservative prime minister for at least since Tony Blair got elected in the late 90s. Tony Blair has shifted shifted the Overton window so far left that no conservative, the Conservative Party is no longer conservative. The Conservative Party in if it was in America, it'd be considered Democrats.
No, I'm going back to some sort of haven. There's literally a race war happening right now.
Same person, she's racist as fuck. Most institutions were set up by white supremacists. This is the girl. Oh my god, bro.
We managed to still cast all the white people after the atrocious shit they do.
Oh my god, look at all this. White people, white people, white people. Delusional as fuck, too. Let me see it. She-Hulk actress says she doesn't care if the show is successful because she already got paid. The show is successful. We were #1 in America last week. If we don't get a season 2, I'm beyond happy with what we have. We made a lot of people happy and we were happy and loved it. You're right. I mean, I watched so many Critical Drinker videos about She-Hulk. It was like 4 or 5. Honestly, I got some good content out of it too, so I can't really complain about that.
I mean, straight white men feel safe to speak their mind all the time, and so I've decided to adopt their straight white male privilege.
Her boyfriend?
Yes. This Indian woman who hates white men, straight white men, the most evil people on earth, gets railroaded on a nightly basis by, guess what? A straight white Englishman. I think someone actually wrote something about hate straight white men on the streets, get rammed by a straight white man under the sheets.
There it is. It's always the same, isn't it? Revolutionary in the streets, colonized in the sheets. Many such.
There you go. Revolutionary in the streets, colonized under the sheets. You know too much about gay sex. Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm not sure if I'll take that as a compliment. June. What is this? What am I reading here? June Sarpong is a baroness. Oh, I see. I think the conversation is taking
cases.
This. I love the way it's written. Hunt is just following Sarpong's lead for treats and rewards. Indeed. So there was that. And now I would like to get to another, what I would consider the pièce de résistance, or at least not so much pièce de résistance, just a particular view. I'm gonna drop. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna drop the stream chat because I've got enough now to clip and cut whatever I need. I'm gonna talk about Elon Musk's interview with the what the hell was it? It was with the oh, for the love of God, what was the Elon Musk's interview with The Economist? The Economist. But this is a little clip to titillate you before I move on.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One of the things that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I
Literally.
agree. No,
she sounds like she's about to deep throat something, but yeah, that's right. Man, be based as hell. Let me just go over that again one more time.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these.
Just want to quickly say it's a bit more than 10 or 15 years. I think, unfortunately, as we get older, we think like things that were said by Obama or whatever, like 10 years ago. It's not. It's 6 years ago. It was literally 6 years ago when COVID was happening. And that was Donald Trump and Joe Biden's era that we were talking about. You got to go back to 2008 or pre-2008, before Obama was even elected, he was saying these sort of base stuff about immigration. So, yeah. You're looking at a little bit more than 10 or 15. I think we're looking at like 20 at this point. To be honest with you, I would say 25. You got to go back to sort of late 90s, mid 90s, where Hillary and all these Biden and all these other politicians were saying, things about crime and illegal immigration, which is what people like Rupert Lowell are saying now, which is considered madness, but it was considered mainstream politics back then.
These policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One of the things that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party has shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking
right,
about
please.
people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in. But
God damn, man! Thank you. This is why they're going to ban X. This is why they're going to ban X. I'm telling you, they're going to ban that platform. France, by the way, as far as precedents are concerned, France has already banned Rumble. I don't think they banned X. I believe Brazil has already banned X, and various other social media outlets. Britain, unless we get these commie, lefty, Labour asswipes out of the office by the next election, there will no longer be X available in the United Kingdom. X will no longer be available. I'll promise you that. I'm putting money down now. If we get a second Labour government in this country, if Reform doesn't win, or some coalition of Reform, Conservatives, Restore doesn't win the next general election, Labour and the Greens will ban X because of this based shit. Mark my words. Okay. Now, I've posted the chat. If you guys want to actually jump on the panel's open. Oh, wait a minute, JK in his house. What's up, Jay? Sorry, mate, didn't see you.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me flip this bitch. Okay, what's happening, dude? Talk to me.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good summer. Like the weather's like a little too hot, in many ways. Yeah, and I'm just been getting some good work with my clients at my gym, and even doing these sports camp thing for kids. Especially give the parents a respite. But
oh, good man.
Yeah, but it's very fascinating, like seeing like obviously the stereotypes of how well the Chinese kids behave in comparison to the who's.
Are these Chinese kids mostly?
No,
or?
well, it's a mix. There's Chinese, there's mixed race, there's.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I see. But you can instantly see the different behaviors of the different races.
Yeah.
And we have Lieutenant in his house. Let me bring up the Lieutenant. Actually, yeah, turn up everybody's microphones. Although I can hear you guys just fine, but maybe the stream. Hello, my lovely lieutenant. How are you?
Hello, Hafez. I am good. I've just realised I haven't got my avatar in here, have I? How do I do that?
Yeah, I see both of you guys. I'll be honest. I'm not entirely sure how the
I've
avatar
found
thing
it.
works.
I've found it.
I think you can. I think you can just do a
It's because
selection.
I cleared the browsing history and literally wiped everything, so cookies the lot.
I'm with you. Okay, actually, there may be echoes or something. I don't know. No one's complaining about any echoes, but
By
usually
the
when
way,
I'm
your
sharing.
Hafez sign behind you is back to front. You've got yourself mirrored, have you?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, well, I mean, this is how this bad boy's been working. So maybe I gotta flip it. Let me just check. Our mirror camera. Okay, but no,
There
is it the right way around on the stream though?
No, on the stream it's not the right way around. So do it again,
okay.
flip it again. That's it.
Because usually when it's backwards here, it's right way around on the stream, and so I thought, it'll work. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But okay, my lovely. What the hell is this? Oh, sorry, I'm just checking
It's
something.
so BBC checking the notes, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've got the tie. I've got the shuffling paper.
Very professional.
Anyway, so Miss Lieutenant,
Yes.
James has gone on mute for a sec. Tell us what do you think about all the things we discussed in this video so far?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting if we do a bit of a dive on the family Thunberg. As far as Musk is concerned, I think X is too big to get cancelled in all these different countries. They're trying, but honestly, the pushback is too big.
I don't know because it's based beast mode says Hafez go corner tomorrow. Maybe at the moment I have other things that I have to take care of in the morning, but if I get a chance, James, maybe James might show up as well.
Yeah, did you like my look?
Oh, that was awesome, dude. That was just sublime. You showed up with the bowler white, the whole white outfit with the bowler hat. In fact, you're inspiring me to buy a bowler hat.
I like the fact that IC3 was dressed up in pretty much exactly what matched his skin color, and I vice versa.
That's true. You guys were like ebony and ivory. You could have sang that Paul McCartney song.
And remember that guy who was like being extremely condescending, and he called me IC3 and Steve the bullshit Trinity of Speakers Corner.
Yes, yeah. That was brilliant. That was a brilliant segment, actually. I got to clip that and just post that on its own. Because sometimes, in a long stream, people just don't get to that part. And that was more or less towards the end of my my day there.
And because it was like on the 12th of July, which is the closest thing that England has to a birthday, next year is ironically going to be the 1100th anniversary of England united as a kingdom. So it won't be on a Sunday, it will be on a Monday, but I'm definitely going to, make a big speech or monologue saying the importance it is to celebrate England,
Yeah, definitely. So that's next Sunday.
No, that's next year on the 12th of July.
Next year. Okay. Actually,
Wasn't it,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, wasn't it England's birthday a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday?
Yes, that's what I meant. It's the 12th of July is when Athelstan, who was like the grandson of Alfred the Great, basically, put down his foot to all the other kings in Britain, saying like, "I am the King of England, the supreme leader of the British Isles."
Yeah.
Tomorrow is actually the last Sunday of the month, and the feminists, Kelly J, and all those guys will be down as well.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that would be. I love messing with those guys. It's so much fun. But the funny thing is that politically they're actually much more in line with me now when it comes to things like Islam and other things. But of course, they're still sort of feminists, and they can never really
Give them
truly.
time. Give them time.
Yeah, the programming's got to break down on them yet.
We all have our different moments. Like I remember, like how me and Bansky were like on pretty like opposite spectrums in many ways. So it took a while for the shift to come.
That's true. That is true. When Ralph used to say he's far more right wing than when we say like you're far right,
further right than that.
Yes, and I'm be honest, I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to actually see a lot of that. A lot of that patriotic alternative sort of crowd, relabeling, repackaging, and then introducing, and that's where my issue has been actually with the Restore. There's a lot of those guys that are trying to get their fingers stuck into Restore, and it's worrying. Because the thing is, eventually these people will be exposed, and then Restore is going to be tainted by them. I really have a lot of hope in Restore. Not necessarily for them to win the election and become government, although maybe in a 3 or 4 election cycles from now, perhaps, who knows. But the fact that they are the pressure point, they're the ones who press reform.
Yeah.
Towards not to capitulate on their promises, not to be essentially to have a bit of a spine. They're forced to have a spine, or at least pretend to have a spine, in their rhetoric, because of Restore's pressure.
Yeah, that's true. I think I recall some Reform MPs saying that do need to see it as a worrying concern of the demographics of this country being less white. Even though they would a few months say like, "Oh, I don't care," but it's going to be interesting on how far the pain has to be in order for them to no longer just sit idly on the fence.
I honestly think that apart from someone like Rupert Lowell and hopefully a couple of more Restore politicians, if they get press reform, I want Restore to actually take on because I recently posted a video about the Fabian Society and the Fabian group. There was a little video I found on X. I just copied and posted it on my channel just to make sure it's spread around a little bit. And I want Restore to take up Fabian style tactics. I want them to start getting councillors in various councils around the country. I mean, this is essentially what the Greens and the Labour Party have done anyway for a long time. The Greens are doing that. They're following those tactics. The Muslims, believe it or not, there is another faction here, although they run on the Greens or Labour, but there is a Muslim party in this country without it being an official party. And they are very much working in that Fabian style as well. And they're trying to get in councillors. I mean, the amount of mayors in this country that are Muslim mayors is unbelievable. The amount of cities. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Except the mayor of Leicester, I believe, is a Sikh, though. I saw recently a video of someone saying, oh, look, does this look like England to you? Admitted, they didn't indicate that he was what religion this guy was, but from his turban, he's a Sikh. Now, the funny thing is, though, the Sikhs have traditionally always been much more based around, because they're kind of like me. Anyone who's a Sikh, who's a Punjab, they know the shit that comes out of that part of the world. We're all fully aware of the nasty people that live amongst us in those parts of the world. And we don't want them here any more than, an English person does. And in fact, most of us are the first in line to say, hell no, don't bring these people here. We're the ones who ran away from these people. What are you doing? So I think, maybe the Sikhs, as a Sikh mayor, maybe things are different. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I think they're all towing a certain line.
They all have their own self-interests.
None of them are ever going to be loyal to this country because they have no history with this land. They just look at it like it's a piece of land when it isn't. It's a home. Like, this is my inheritance from my forebearers.
There you go.
Who the fuck are they to come in and take that? You know.
Yes.
I don't mind helping people out, but eventually you've got to go back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And live in your country once it's safe. I have no problem working with people worldwide, like seeing us as all one family. Yeah, but this is ultimately my home, not theirs. So they're never going to be loyal to us like our own people. But going back to what you were saying there, Banksy, about Rupert Law and reform, like what you've said is like part of what I've been afraid, that they are fragile and they can be infiltrated, because at the moment they're very instrumental, right? They're not the whole hog as far as I'm concerned, but they're very instrumental, and most instrumental out of all of the so-called far right or right wing parties, right? Even though I don't see what I'm aiming for as right wing. Like Elon Musk in that interview there was brilliant. He's bringing it into people's minds because he gets seen by more people than anyone of questioning what is right wing actually, because then people will start looking and then they will start finding the truth, right? Because everyone who's talking about right and left in the mainstream and even most of like the alternative media just really haven't got a clue as far as I'm concerned. But what you were saying there about Rupert Law and reform, like they are still compromisable. They still have those weaknesses, those vulnerable areas, just like what, say, the Greens and Labour and all have as far as being infiltrated by the Muslims, right? But you've still got that fragility. You've still got those gaps, those cracks, so to speak, on so-called right. And I think that's where we really need to be vigilant, because they're instrumental, but we've got to keep an eye on those weak points where people could get in.
I will say it's quite ironic that we left the EU because we wanted less immigration, and now the EU is suddenly putting up laws to kind of like backtrack on the laws.
Yeah, the EU are more based than Britain now, and they're actually passing laws, although they are somewhat, they go through the democratic process, and then if they don't get the result they want, they kind of, let's do it again.
yeah, they override it anyway. But that's because you've got that many countries in Europe that have been emboldened by our move, right? For them to start fighting back. So it's kind of going to be a wave between, is it us or is it them that's leading in the charge against immigration? But it is like that's starting to happen in the EU because of what we chose, even though we've not got what we chose yet. But that's how it's working.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, people talk about, like, you hear these. One thing I want to say about Elon Musk before I forget this, I love the fact that people, these interviewers who are very, very, first of all, he sees them as hostile interviews. He doesn't see these people anymore as just good faith, interview. So he definitely sees that this is a hostile person who's going to try to trip me up and try to, do these things. And her whole shtick about mentioning the far right and then wanting to move on, because her point wasn't that her thing about all these far right people, you see, they throw that in. That's like a throwaway comment. She doesn't expect him to pick up on that. She just expects him to accept her framing that these are all far-right people, and then accuses him of some form of racism, and then expects him to backpedal and try to explain and try to prove himself not to be a racist, thus giving the power to the interviewer rather than Elon Musk. And so he will... It's a psychological trick, I'll be honest. People in game theory, pickup artists, actually use these tactics, where if you put someone on the back foot, they will actually try to work extra hard to gain your approval, thus building attraction. towards you. That's how the pickup artists do it. But it actually works as a form of psychology in all situations, where if you actually put someone on the back foot and have them prove themselves to you, they will be the submissive and you will be the dominant in that relationship, in that conversation, in that moment. And that was the point of this question and that throwaway comment about you support far right, where she wanted to have him in that position where she is the dominant, he's the submissive. He then totally flipped that. He picked up on the fact that she threw this, put this throwaway comment about far right and said, no, they are not. You're not just going to get away with just throwing that out there without challenge.
Yes.
They are not far right. They're ordinary people. Stop essentially smearing these people.
Poison in the well. That's
Yeah,
basically what they do when they do that. Yeah. And I was so glad to see that he was on it there. Sorry, James, go ahead.
Maybe he's just autistic, I think give him too much credit.
I mean, it could be. Yeah. It could be his autism, but I think he's had enough of these bad faith interviews that he now is on
No,
guard.
he absolutely loves it. Like, I really like that one where it was like that male BBC journalist, and he was like, going on about how all these awful things are being said on like your Twitter thing, and Elon Musk saying like, "Can you give me an example?" And he's like, "Well, I can't bring an example right now." It's like, you can't even bring up one example. This is absurd.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's he's had quite a few of these bad faith interviews where he recognizes mainstream media. This is an adversarial conversation. This is not a good faith conversation. Whoever it is on the other side is representing whichever mainstream media is going to want to trip you up, is going to want to put you in a position where you have to be groveling for forgiveness and pretend that this. Because what I've noticed is, funnily enough, someone like Piers Morgan, which I don't consider to be very bright at all, I consider him to be a dimwit. He does it all. He falls for this trap all the time. You go and watch anyone who's ever said to Piers Morgan, "You're a racist," and see how much he spends of that interview showing that person that he's not a racist. He doesn't care about anything else anymore.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. It's like this guy makes me think he is racist when he does that.
Well, he literally spends the whole of that interview from that moment onwards trying to prove that he's not a racist. Everything else about that interview goes out the window.
Yeah,
just his obsession. With how much of not racist he is, and he falls for that trick all the time, the time. Whilst I think Musk has picked up on it, he's learned, and he's now, he's using these interviews essentially as clickbait for himself. I'll be honest with you. I mean, look at this.
This is like I find the best way to respond to "Are you racist?" I often say like, "Oh, darling, I'm far too sophisticated to be a racist. I'm much worse than that."
Yes. Sorry, Lieutenant, you were saying?
Yeah, about Elon Musk, what both of you, James and you, Banksy, have highlighted. I think it's not autism, and I don't think he's only just picked up on it. I think he's done a Trump, and I think he's studied these fuckers. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's not just the mainstream media. It's the people who are still on the globalist bandwagon, whether they realize it or not, whether we want to call them lefties, greenhead monsters, XR, nut jobs, whatever we want to call them, right? They're still on the globalist bandwagon, which we know is beyond nefarious. And I see it myself. Like, I go in for healthcare, I go to certain groups and throughout London, and it's like I'm faced with this all the time, these sly digs. And if I let them get away with it, if I don't challenge that there and then, they know exactly what they're doing. They're doing this underhand sly dig of, oh yes, the patriarchy. And everyone else in the room could be a vulnerable adult, and they just absorb that like a sponge. They're so fucking malnourished because they're obese. They've got this assault of chemicals on them. They've got mental health diagnoses and all the rest of it. And they've been exploited, the mental health people, mental health sufferers. And so they just absorb this. So if I don't challenge it there and then, These people are going to soak that up. Now, you times that by a gazillion because it's Elon Musk and he's talking with someone in front of the world. Of course he's got to challenge it. So
Yeah, but
I think he's being very clever. I do think he knows what he's doing. He's a very, very smart man.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I do think it's like a interesting case study of like why autists in general aren't able to be turned into like sheep through propaganda.
Oh, they are able. I see a lot of autistic people being exploited in this. A lot of autistic people have ended up going for a so-called sex change in the alphabetic people malarkey. So I wouldn't say that they can't be compromised. Oh, yes, they can.
Well,
autistic people are not immune.
I think autism is diagnosed way too much in general. I'm just it's merely saying like when you look at Elon Musk, you know, he's someone who just like speaks his mind, you know, and you know doesn't like to gloss over like certain words, you know. Just
I think he's way more calculated than that. I think he's very, very, very clever.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying like again like people who actually have like autism are like got certain pre-ignitions to not accept what is obviously false.
It depends on where they are and the spectrum. Like you can't use that as a sweeping statement over autism at all, because the vast majority are very much manipulated. I see this in the mental health sector everywhere I go.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't think you can. That's why I don't really put it down to his autism. I put it down to his experience with multiple interviews, with deep. I mean, essentially, you can see it with. I've seen this progression amongst like online debate bros, for example. They start off very meek, very passive, or just generally unsure of themselves, and then over a period of a few months or a year or so. Suddenly they turn into a monster. They're challenging the person. They don't let them get away with anything just willy-nilly, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? They're on it. They're on it, and they're... Sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. Yeah, so they're very, they trained up, essentially. They leveled up. And I think that's what happened with Elon. If you go back to like the early interviews that he gave before, even before SpaceX, certainly before SpaceX, those early years of Tesla, and what else? I think he was PayPal obviously before that, but I'm not sure. I've never seen an interview during the PayPal era, but certainly from Tesla onwards, when he was trying to talk about his, the development of Tesla and the batteries and etc. etc. Apart from the softball interviews, which were essentially infomercials for Tesla, all the other interviews, he was very meek. He was very sort of, and because of his, I guess that is his autism. He stutters a lot just before he answers a question.
Yeah.
And that's his his brain trying to get to the answer.
That's very interesting. Because I've worked as a teaching assistant for well over a decade now, so. Can tell like the different varieties of where your certain like cognitions in your brain will kind of like determine these certain quirks about you. So,
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I just think that it's just been a steady progression. He's learned. He's had experience of interviews hard, especially after he supported Trump. I mean, from 2024, was it 23, 24, when he essentially put lashed his cart to Trump's wagon. He's been under attack constantly in all forms, and then the buying Twitter and all that, and he's now, I mean, the other main thing as well, which I think is what a lot of other people don't find themselves in that position. He has FU money beyond belief now. He truly has FU money.
Yeah, he is the first trillionaire.
Technically, yeah. I mean, it's all to do with stock prices. I think he's down. He's not a trillionaire anymore. He's like a very close to a trillion billionaire. But it's all stock prices. I mean, none of it means anything. There's been
Yeah,
trillionaires, I think, 10 times over.
Inflation and all that stuff.
Exactly. The thing is, the real trillionaires, you don't even know who they are. They've been trillionaires, I believe, in this world for a very long time. It's just they're not on the cover of Forbes, and they're not going to be, public in that way. Most of these people who, I mean, the thing is, money after a certain amount anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what can you buy with $1 billion what can't you buy with $1 billion that you can buy with like $1 trillion? There's almost nothing on this planet that you can't buy with $1 billion. So it's not about things. It's not even about the money. It's power and influence. This is exactly why mainstream hates him, because he bought himself essentially his influence, which is Twitter. Which, I mean, before he bought Twitter, I don't think he even had like a few million followers. Elon Musk, but once he bought Twitter, he is it like 500 billion followers or some crazy amount? It's insane. He has like ridiculous amount of followers now. He bought himself his influence. He then bought himself into the White House, so he bought himself adjacent to power, and that's it. That's where it all happens. It's all money and power. I mean, Putin.
Well, yeah, but even Elon Musk learned in his time in government, or at least helping out with Trump's government, that the whole system's just irreformable.
I think we all know this. This is something that do you guys know Dominic Cummings? I think is it Dominic?
Yeah.
Cummings. He was the advisor to Boris
Johnson.
Yeah. He literally laid it all out for us. He gave an interview. It was a very long interview. If you go and look it up, he literally just laid it out on the table of how the civil service in this country works and who really runs, who has the lever of power in this country. And it ain't the politicians.
Yeah.
I was kind of curious of you saying that the right should adopt like Fabian tactics. And for those who aren't aware, Fabian was a Roman dictator who decided, instead of facing Hannibal Barca in direct battle, he decided to do all these hit and run attacks, like burning supplies,
infiltration,
ambushes on his scouts, or whatever. So,
slowly breaking down your enemy rather than a direct attack to try to destroy your enemy. You essentially break them down piece by piece.
Yeah, so how is the right meant to act in that way? Yeah.
The fact is that it's really actually simple. It's what the left is already doing. You put up councillors from your party for wherever there's a council elections, there's local elections. You put up your people to get into councils, to get into everything, the school boards, goddamn housing association committees. Whatever trusts, exactly, hospital trusts.
See, yours need to be taken out of the NHS. Do you know what I mean? They need to be replaced with decent. Because honestly, the top down in the NHS is disgusting. There
you go. So any place where an election is held in order for that person to be put into position of power and decision making. It's not a private corporation. It's not a private institution. It is a place where there's an election, and you have to put people up for elections or these things. I don't know. I guess we don't really have, what's it called, a homeowners association in this country. But anything that requires an election, you put a candidate up, and you bring your supporters, and you use your party's social media and other media facilities to promote your candidate for whatever. As I said, it can be as small as some council house association, local council association, hospital trust members, school commissioners, school boards, all of these things. You place your people in all of these places. Now, don't get me wrong, the logistics of it is pretty massive. You need to be, and this is why only large parties have had essentially a monopoly on this for decades, for centuries in this country. This has really been the two-party system for centuries. But you start somewhere. You start with those small, and this is what Restore and I think Reform have learned, is that you don't worry about the big once every 4 years general elections. You place your people in these local elections. That's where you get your stuff, you get it done. And this is where, I'm sure, I know that Reform were talking about how Liberal Democrats, although Reform got more votes in the general election than Liberal Democrats got like 50, 60 seats, whilst Reform got 5. So you're not playing the game right.
Especially considering it's the majority, which were once called the silent majority. They're no longer silent, so you need to get a bit more noisy, because the left, they're a tiny minority, but they're freaking noisy.
The problem is there are 2 challenges. This is what I've been saying it for years. There are 2 challenges with the conservative movement in Britain to get actionable things done. One is the fact that you're running out of time, and the time that the sort of burning fuse that you're chasing here is demographic shift, demographic changes in your cities, in your local areas. There is a particular group, which we all know who it is, the Religion of Peace, who are outbirthing the living shit out of the natives. And so that is the burning fuse that is running down. The what's it called? That movie, Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. And that's basically the fuse burning towards a giant turban that is full of bombs.
Well, fortunately, the numbers on that are on the decline. Like they're starting to drop because a lot of women are actually seeking refuge from Islam in this country.
Yeah, but I mean, is that going to be enough to essentially keep them? Because once this demographic shift happens, then your democratic means of getting this ship turned around is almost finished. You're done. Look at Sadiq Khan and his forever re-elections as a mayor. Christ, the son of a bitch is now a lord. I thought that's it. They made him a goddamn lord. Piss off to the House of Lords. Leave London alone. Apparently, there's still talks about him maybe running again.
Oh my God!
How can he be in a House of Lords and the Lord Mayor of London at the same time? How does that work?
Surely this and sausage fingers giving it like a load of love to Islam is just like paving the path for the end of the monarchy.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. But the fact is that this son of a bitch, I just want him out. I want to drive my car more than 20 miles an hour again. That's all I want. I pay a fortune for my car to drive at the same speed as a medium cyclist. Not even a fast cyclist, a mid-tier cyclist.
I don't want infantile stickers. I don't want infantile stickers on the tube window telling me to be careful every 2 minutes, like I'm in some fucking health and safety dystopian bubble fucking nightmare within the M25 where everyone cries and says ouch at nothing. We have to get rid of cars, don't we?
Go on, James. What were you saying?
I was just saying, get on your bike.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Literally.
There you go. Kiss my ass. I pay money for my car. I pay tax, insurance. MOT recently cost me a fortune. Actually, no, it wasn't too bad. It was medium compared to the usual. But yeah, no, I pay money and I wish to use the facilities that I pay money for.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get on my penny farthing.
Yes, yeah. I'm not joking, though. I have seriously been looking at e-bikes. E-bikes nowadays, although the police, quote, strictly speaking, you're not allowed to have an e-bike that goes more than like 15, 20 miles an hour. But these e-bikes are literally doing 50, 60 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy.
On footpaths as well.
Well, yeah, that's stupid. I'm talking like on the road or in a proper bike lane. But either way, they're keeping up. You can keep up with traffic. If I can keep up on a e-bike with traffic, I don't need to be on any special lane. I'll just be on the road with everyone else because I'm I ride motorbike, so I wear a crash helmet. I'm going to wear the gear. I'm not some idiot cyclist who wears a t-shirt and goes out there thinking all is code,
Yeah. That's the wrong word.
all is good. You're an idiot if you're riding without a helmet.
I'm thinking, how many heads would I turn if I was on a penny farthing with a pith helmet and have it being pulled by a bulldog?
Not many where I live. But
is that every day? You see that? That's just a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's every day. There's a question in the chat that I would like to try to answer. That second one up, it says, what you reckon the number of underage white girls GRAPED'd by our Annie friends? So first of all, I would like to say that there's more than one nationality involved in that organization that is doing that to our children. And I have a guesstimate. Now, it is known that between the year 2000 and 2000, I think it was 500,000 children came forward and reported it, right? Now, at best, we only ever hear from 15% of the victims of these crimes, right? This is longest stats. So 500,000 being 15% works out 3.333 recurring million for that first 10 years. Now, that's 2000 to 2010. We're 16 years after that, and it's only gotten worse since 2010. So I'm guesstimating around 10 million minimum.
10 million?
Yeah. Because they haven't stopped.
Christ.
And it's just gotten worse. And we're only just starting to uncover London. London? Wow.
Yeah.
We haven't even looked at Birmingham.
Yeah. There's a whole host of places that they haven't even started looking at. But London, yeah, you're right. I mean, Sadiq Khan, total denial. He just basically pretended there was no such thing until recently, where he's had to kind of admit it because it's become so obvious. But 10 million, that's a hell of a number.
Over a 26-year period. Yeah.
The thing is, Rupert Lowe...
Well, actually, it goes back even further, I think. The first one.
Yeah, it goes back to like the 50s.
Yeah, of course it does.
But what I mean is, Rupert Lowe's report, with their what they consider very conservative estimate, was about 250K, with going back as far as like the 50s and 60s. 10 million.
They might be only going off what official numbers they've looked at, and they're excluding the fact that might be at best 15% that have been reported. I don't think they're looking at everything that's come forward. They might just be like trying to creep it into the mainstream media conversation in order to be able to come out with more and more facts. Because since they've said that, people are starting to come out with figures about London here and there. So.
Yeah, but go on, James. You were saying? No.
Doesn't really have anything to add, but well.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm just thinking 10 million is just wow. That is insane. There's no way they would be able to keep that on the wraps. 10 million. That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, you just think the 10 million. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think, it really does depend on like how sophisticated these networks are, because it
they are extreme.
Indicate that a lot of like even like our homeschool elites are very entangled with these things, because I bet that the reason they were so eager for particularly Muslims to come here is because it kind of like gives them almost a cover for their own unnatural desires, if that makes sense.
Well, it's part of their rituals, actually. to do
Let's
this.
ask
Yes, it also
Brenda,
covers up their own stuff. Yeah.
who asked the question, how
Brendan
crazy
Duke.
though. That means entire generations of girls have been
Terrorized.
tortured.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
them are dead actually as well.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that's probably
not all of them lived, did they?
But Brenda, so what was your number? So yeah, let us know in the chat or come up if you want. I mean, I posted the
Brendan
link
says
several times.
there's tens of thousands of police records saying the girls are, quote, feral. Yeah, they came out with lots of excuses for this being done to them, like saying that they were child prostitutes. I mean, what the hell?
Or that you should be grateful that you're being culturally enriched.
Oh, fuck, that one was a piss
I mean,
take.
that just feels sick,
Oh,
really. You didn't have to do that, James.
Damn, that deserves a slap. I mean, whoever said that should have been slapped, should have been flogged in public.
It's a good job we haven't got guns at the moment when people say things like that.
God damn. Yeah, Brendan says 1.1 million. Even that's a massive amount. But yeah, that, to be honest, I would have because taking the Rupert Law report of 250 being conservative.
I think he's being conservative.
You think 1.1 is being conservative?
Absolutely.
Christ.
Yeah. People have I know these girls. I've sat in groups with them. And I know how these gangs operate. I've seen it going on in other countries as well as in my own country, up and down the country. I see it everywhere I go in London. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know what this shit is and how these bastards move, you can't unsee it. And I've known how these bastards move for about 24 years now. It's just...
It's a bit like, you ever remember seeing the film Taken?
Yeah.
Was it Liam Neeson? Was it
Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson, yeah. So obviously, like, his daughter gets kidnapped in France, and and there's like this very, very large like network where they just pimp out these girls to all sorts of people. So
I know about
Look! You've got the Moroccans all over Belgium and the Netherlands, right? Not only are they bringing in a whole host of different drugs and managing the coffee shops and stuff like that in the Netherlands, they're running the fucking red light districts. And they're bringing them in from a very young age from all over the place. That's just one tiny part of this whole machine.
The thing is, I mean, yeah, it's not a mystery about the traffickers globally.
Yeah.
And I can accept numbers of 10 million plus, far more than that, globally. But just in Britain, it just seems...
Think about the figures. Yeah, it does. But it actually works out. People don't realise how bad it already is. And they're thinking, oh, it's going to get worse. Yeah.
Damn.
Then they haven't even woke up to realise how bad it actually is right now. I'm super frustrated on the regular, maybe because of the kind of people that I interact with when in my offline life. There's a lot of these woke nuts, and they're like, soon enough they're going to be drawing their pension, and they're trying to school me on what words I can and cannot use, while they're shunning me if I express any kind of disdain towards someone who cannot even string a sentence of English together, let alone cannot bring themselves to show some respect towards me. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you are letting these fuckers into our home to do this to your daughters and your granddaughters, and you're schooling me on what words I can and cannot say. Like, I'm coming across this on the regular. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. I just want to fucking go off it at them, but that's counterproductive as well. It's horrendous.
Yeah, it is a very tricky one. Like, because there's obviously like the ones who kind of like, even though they're groomed, they kind of like consented, and those who absolutely were forced against their will. and those who may have not been fully engaged in the network still got like abused that one time, you know. So
Look, groomed. There's no consent in groomed.
well,
What you just said there is so wrong and so part of the problem. There is no consent in groomed. When you look at
when I say
when you look at what's entailed, when you look at what's entailed in grooming.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, in the moment, but then you regret it, you know. So this happens all the time, you know, when.
What do you mean in the moment and then you regret it? I don't know what you're saying.
He's talking about the girls, I think. Are you talking about the girls?
Yeah, the whole like.
Yeah, they've been groomed.
Yes, and they're the ones who decide to make it as, you know, they got nothing else to do. So. And
nothing else to do. It's part of the condition that they're in after having been.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying that
when one has been sexually abused.
That's what I'm saying. That
when one has been sexually abused, one becomes highly promiscuous. It's part of the illness.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So they haven't consented. They're ill.
Okay, maybe we're getting mixed up with the words.
Hang on. Whether they were children or they're adults, they are vulnerable individuals and they are protected under the law. They have not given consent ever.
Right, and I'm making a distinction to those who got lured into it and those who, you know, were just minding their own business and then got thrusted into that, you know.
Yeah, they're vulnerable adults and they still.
Yeah, I know, but there's one. Yes, but it's different to being like over a long period of time being manipulated into something that you would never agree to in any other circumstance, and then
no one in their right mind would ever agree to.
Yes, and then
so there's always something wrong with someone.
And then there are those
if they've ended up in that. That's why prostitution is now known as trafficking, because it's acknowledged that it's actually sex slavery.
Right. I acknowledge that.
It's not something they just think, oh, I'm going to go out and make a business out of this shit, you know, in the right peace of mind. No, there's something going on in the first place.
Well, again, it depends. Like you see,
no, it doesn't depend. It is proven.
No, there are a lot of girls who voluntarily get into OnlyFans.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's the other part of it. I mean, where do we? I mean, if a girl is under 16 in this country, I would imagine, but maybe 18 could be considered statutory regardless. But if a girl is like 16 and above, and they have gone into some form of prostitution.
Yeah, how much agency do we give them?
Where do we?
Not much. When these bastards go out and they know exactly what they're looking for in an individual to get them into it. The Ghislaine Maxwell, the Jeffrey Epstein, these grooming gangs, you want to call them that? They all know what they're looking for in someone. There's something going on inside that person. That means that they're not in their right mind, because no one in their right mind would choose that, making an educated decision.
Yeah, but again,
so therefore they are regarded as vulnerable individuals, whether a child or an adult.
Yeah, but adult an adult has agency, can like make some really bad decisions.
There is such a thing as a vulnerable adult. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you know, people who have mental.
Yeah. By law, they are regarded as vulnerable adults.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Downs, people with Downs and other sort of, you know, high levels
PTSD, of depression, EUPD, ADHD, autists.
Autists, yeah.
And so on and so forth. Like, there's a plethora of mental health diagnoses out there. Yeah. All regarded as vulnerable adults.
The only issue I have is if we're making... Sorry, just bear with me. If we're making this argument of these young girls being groomed, which I think is perfectly reasonable, of course they were, especially under the age of like 16, 17, then the people who make these arguments will then say, well, Shamima Begum was essentially groomed.
Oh, she was. By her own parents.
Should we then allow her back in?
No, and they should be locked up as well. They knew exactly what they were doing, because they groomed her to do what she did. They brought her up to go out and do what she did. That's in all of the documents.
Okay. So it is actually documented that her parents were fully on board with her going to Syria.
Yeah.
So she didn't do this without their knowledge.
Correct.
Oh. Okay. So now that's a whole different
that's
thing.
the moderate, peaceful Muslims. That's what they do with their daughters.
Interesting. Because a lot of people make the argument that she was purely groomed online.
No.
And she didn't do this with her parents' consent. She ran away, kind of thing.
No, this is what girls are brought up to be. Sex slaves.
I didn't know. I didn't know her parents were involved. But the thing is, if her parents were involved in essentially manipulating her into believing in all these things, and then kind of consenting with her running away to Syria, what's happening to them? What's charges on them?
You tell me. There's a lot of corruption in the judicial system, isn't there?
Well,
I would actually
like to ask you. Do you think because with Andrew Tate facing jail time, being extradited to the UK for the whole whether network of girls he apparently manipulated, whatever. Do you think those girls were vulnerable, or did they make a predetermined decision that this was in their best interest at the time?
So you're asking me or Lieutenant?
Lieutenant, but you as well, I guess.
I think they're probably vulnerable. I don't think anyone in their right mind would choose to do that as a job.
Well, again, it really depends
Just
on...
because it's commonplace doesn't mean that it's something that one does when one is within their right mind. Listen to what that, think about what that means when one is in one's right mind.
Right, but there's also the fact that, what are my options? How do I get ahead in life? Do I get a job?
Right, so they're distressed and compromised because they can't see anything else to do, right? They're not in their right mind. But the exact details of that case, I don't know whether it's even true or not.
Yeah, the thing is,
the charges brought against them. I don't know what the details.
The problem is there's two scenarios here, from what I can see. Someone like Lily, what was her name? Lily Phillips. I don't know if you guys know these names, and Bonnie Blue. I think you might know Bonnie Blue a little bit more. These are adult actresses. Oh God, there's a term they
make a
bedroom
do this stunt where they sleep with over 100 men in a couple hours.
They're essentially adult actresses. Now, can we make the argument that the initial time when they first started in this industry, were they groomed into it? Because both Bonnie and Lily, started around 17, 18.
Yeah, it's not like they had a gun to their head saying you're going to do this.
But what I mean is that if we're making these arguments,
isn't about holding a gun to someone's head, James.
It's the mental, but it's the mental manipulation.
It's
but what I mean is, were they coerced into it? I mean, they're making millions out of the industry and they're loving their life. I mean, Bonnie Blue absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, wants to do what she does. And she's not apologetic about it whatsoever. Lily Phillips is a little bit different. She seems to have moments of doubt, and she did the 100-man thing, and she cried afterwards because I think she felt somewhat violated. So she's a bit she appears uncertain about what she does, whilst Bonnie, I think she's an info and she just loves it. But what I'm saying is,
personally, nothing is what it seems. Everything is worth looking into. There's lots of factors. There's lots of things that could be going on. We can't forget all of the sub-projects of MK Ultra, which never actually shut down. It just changed its name and went worldwide, right? We can't ignore what we know about what happens in the entertainment industry and how most of them, at the very least, rise to prominent
like Weinstein
influence.
style.
Yeah, and beyond. And we know that these sickos, these predators, right, are a product of predation as well, as they know what to look for in order to they know who to pluck out of the crowd, so to speak, to make sure that they get what they want out of someone without any hassle. You know, they know what to look for in an individual.
But this is the thing. This is the problem. Like,
because it's about control.
Do we consider someone like Harvey Weinstein to be a pimp, or was he just simply abusing his power as a man to get?
I think he was part of something much bigger than that. I don't think he's a lone ranger.
Yeah. But what I mean is that these are the sort of nuance. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to the Tates, the Tates themselves, with their own mouth, confessed to using what is known as the lover boy tactic in order to coerce women into doing cam work and online, you know.
There you go. So it was coercive, and therefore
they've literally created. I have their video. I downloaded the video at the time. Now they try to scrub all of this from the internet badly. They've really gone around, you know, striking any video, any channel who has those videos on. But I got them.
Fuck up with that one.
Yeah, I got them off. I've got his entire pimping his PhD course, the entire thing, the entire collection, and a few others as well, because I knew that these are going to disappear from the internet and they're going to try and memory hole these things. So the Tates have themselves confessed to their own crime, and if any court of any just any court with a few brain cells, a judge would be able to would sentence these boys just for the pimping degree course. On that alone, they can be put away, because using the lover boy method is illegal in a lot of countries in the world as a form of pimping a woman into prostitution.
Yeah.
So for that alone, these guys are screwed. I said this years ago. This was when they first went to jail in Romania. I said, anyone reads this case, anyone watches their videos, they are now trying to convince the courts in Romania, and that was at the time, that this was all just a gag. This was, come on, we were just joshing. It was just a couple of laughs. These were just like, you morons, you made courses confessing your crime.
Yeah.
Now you want to convince the court that it was just for entertainment. We wouldn't really do it. It's like Al Capone making a video about how to have an organized mafia.
That's some next level Chiquilla, you know.
It's like, dude, how is it that you're so smart and yet so stupid at the same time? Simultaneously an incredibly intelligent but a moron. Like, what? And not only that, in other videos they said, Andrew himself said, I'm never going to go to prison in Romania, they're corrupt, I'll just pay them. He's like, you just want to go to prison, don't you? You just want to go to prison. I mean, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? So yeah, the Tates, I'll be honest, they've already kind of made their own bed. They're screwed.
Yeah, but,
so I'm not really.
But we still need to acknowledge that, you know, remember like that woman on Piers Morgan who, you know, went from being a qualified doctor to an OnlyFans model, and you know, and Piers Morgan asked her, well, how do you think your son's going to react now you did all those things, you know, in your past? And she just said, like, oh, he can go, like, sob in his Ferrari.
Yeah, he can go and cry in a Ferrari.
Yeah, look, but we're talking as if doctors are extremely sensible. Like, a lot of them are in the same sick cult that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, look, the law of money is strong. Is strong. I mean, let's be honest. A doctor, at best, they'll have a middle-class life. She'll make a few $100,000 a year, whilst she could literally, in a span of 5 to 7 years, 5 to 10 years, maybe even make $100 million, and they're set for life. I mean, Bonnie Blue is a multi-millionaire million corporation now. She's a multi-million-dollar corporation. She's not just Bonnie Blue anymore. She's literally a corporation.
I'm very curious where all these fucking cooners or simps gain all this money Are they like
India, mate. India.
Mostly India. Okay.
India. It's just it's nothing but gooners in India and Middle East. You have no idea. These sexually oppressed countries, they are literally salivating at the mouth to pay money to watch naked women or have a woman just be nice to them. I think the majority of their customers are in the Middle East, Far East. Now, of course, there's plenty in Europe and America as well.
That's some next level colonization right there.
Yeah, I mean, they might be colonizing us physically over here, but America is colonizing them psychologically over there. But that's the flip side. This, by the way, this is the dangerous thing that's happening. They think every girl in Europe is some OnlyFans hoe who's showing her coochie for $9.99, and so when they come over here, they go in. That's why they're just openly just harassing and attacking women. They're just grabbing women. They think,
this is an all-you-can-eat buffet. You know.
Yeah. They just come here thinking, well, I just paid $5.99 on OnlyFans, and this little chickie boo looks the same as the hoe I was paying money to.
This is how all of the right women are like.
Yes,
you know? Like,
they're all whores.
Why are we being punished for doing what these girls post about online? You know,
they want it. This is what I mean. This is the insanity of this disconnect. I mean, as Iranian, I can tell you 100%. There are Iranians in Iran who think that the streets of England are paved with gold. There's just money on the floor. You just pick it up and go to the shops. I'm not even remotely. I speak to Iranians. I literally was talking to a lady friend of mine last week, and she's in Germany. I mean, she's not even in Britain. She tells me that people think if they just come to Germany, because she works 6 days a week, ungodly hours, just to maintain a life for her and her daughter. So she's working like crazy hours all the time. She's always tired, and it was just a little vacation that we all met up. And she says, people in Iran think that I'm living the best life ever. I'm loving it in Germany. I'm just showered with money. I'm just walking around. There's money on the floor. I don't have to do a day's work. I'm just chilling. They have no idea I'm killing myself 6 days a week. I get 1 day off, and in that 1 day I have to do all the washing and all the other crap I have to take care of for the rest of the week. It's like I have no time off. I hate it. She absolutely hates it. But that's the reality of life in Europe. People, but in the Middle East and in third world countries, they think we're just living the best. It's just showered with gold and treasures everywhere. Women are just giving up coochie to men. It's insane. It's insane the impression they actually have of
yeah, don't worry, the welfare state will collapse, and they are out of their own, decision decide to leave.
Well, the thing is, you see, this is the shame of it. This is what I feel terrible about for the English and the natives, is that the foreigners, as soon as the welfare tap has been closed and the last drippings have fallen and nothing's left, they'll piss off to the next place. They'll go to the next country the same as they came to this country, because they have no bond, they have no loyalty, they have no history with this nation. This is just a grift for them. They
have no loyalty to their own home. Do you know what I mean? They didn't stay there to work hard and make that place right, did they?
But that's the thing. They don't. They know they don't even have the opportunity to work hard and make a living in those nations. I mean, come on. You think a guy in Iraq has that many opportunities on the table?
India doesn't have to be here.
Well, Indian and Pakistanis. I've seen this. I've seen it through the grapevine. Britain has some kind of messed up deal with Pakistan. They can't deport Pakistanis back to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Disgusting.
This is the thing. India and Pakistan, I don't know what colonial bullshit history you guys pulled over there, but they are entitled to just rock up here and they can't even get sent back. So that's just the making of your own fuckeries with politics over there. Big up, Based. How are you, Based?
Good evening, all.
How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man. Just going.
Good,
You've
man.
been up for a while.
Good. Yeah, I haven't done a live stream like this in ages. Actually, I've just busy. How's Trigger?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's just losing a bit of weight. So,
But good. As long as he's good, he's relatively healthy. Yeah, let me just finish what I was saying to the guys. Yeah, we were basically. I don't know how much of this conversation you picked up on, but there are people in India and Pakistan for sure that they just see Britain as just a soft ride. And what you're saying, Lieutenant, about they don't have loyalty to their countries. They do. They just come here, leech off whatever they can for a few years, especially if you're a man of like 20, 25. You can siphon off whatever benefits you can for a few years here. Try to live as modestly as possible in order to be able to scrounge together with part-time illegal cash-in-hand work or whatever. And if you have about 5 to 10K and you can go back to India with 5 to 10K, that's a decent amount of money to start up a business, maybe purchase a property, to do something, to get your life on that level.
They're not doing that though, are they? Look at all the interbreds and the collapse of the NHS in Birmingham.
Another thing they do as well is the student visas, they put up huge loans and debts and everything else, and they just leave the country. And obviously
exactly.
If they're from somewhere like Sri Lanka, 15, 30, 50 grand's worth of debt, which is what you can get together if you play your cards right, and then you just disappear. You just never come back to the UK.
I'll tell you something that many foreigners that I've known have done. They come here, they open up some bank accounts, and they build those bank accounts up over a few years in order to be able to get some kind of either a large overdraft or a loan from those banks. They take out a bunch of credit cards, and they max that shit out on the last few months or whatever before they check out. And they just rinse every credit card, every loan, everything they can, whatever they can siphon off the government during that time as well, and then they chip. So they've got, at least 15 to 20 grand in their pocket when they go, or somehow manage to send the money back over time in order to purchase properties and purchase some baseline, sort of something that they can, propel themselves in that country from that base that they built, sending the money from over here. They've been doing that in Minnesota to Somalia. In fact, some of the Somali money that the Minnesotans have been sending to Somalia have gone to Al-Shabaab. Fraud money.
I kind of wonder, what if we could create this scheme where we create, like, say, a charter city in Pakistan, and any Pakistani in Britain wants to send money back to Pakistan can only send it back to that charter city?
Base dropped, I think. I don't know. He's gone. I don't know.
But essentially, that charter city can be like a place where we can deport all the unwanted Pakistanis back.
Look, I honestly, the thing is, I found this is. I'm thinking a whole bunch of other things. I'm just going to try and simplify this. I found that every time Western Europeans, America interferes with the Middle East, they screw things up far more than they help. What you got to realize is that this charter city you want to send money to, immediately that money will be embezzled. Immediately it will be embezzled. In fact, Mr. IC3 that James, he was talking about reparations and how we can take that reparation money and put it in a pot for all the people who suffered through slavery, and then that money can then be distributed to help raise the former slave families of Black Britons.
What about the slaves of Ireland who were the worst treated throughout the history of slavery?
Well, yeah, whatever. At the moment, the thing Mr. IC3 was talking about was just black reparations and black slavery.
Okay,
but what I'm saying is, he knows himself. He even admitted, if they tried such a scheme where they would put all the money for the reparations into a single, let's say, account, in which this account would then distribute that money would be embezzled so fast. It'll make your head spin. No one will. Only a couple of people will make off with all that money, and they'll go. They'll be gone. They'll disappear in like some South American country where they can't be extradited.
Well, I was just saying, like for example, South Korea owns like this city in Bangladesh, so it's basically like a free economic zone that they control, and they got their own like schools and everything. So obviously, I understand that it's very hard for the white man to go into a brown or black part of the world and set up like a city or colony there.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, we can like create some scheme with the Commonwealth to say, hey, all these, any entrepreneur or millionaire or billionaire or even trillionaire, regardless if you're black, white or brown, if you want to make a name for yourself, then, you know, invest into the construction of this charter city, and that city will be leased from its mother country for about 100 years. And just like how he made Hong Kong into basically the reason that China became like this massive like industrial like powers, because they copied from the Hong Kong model, you know, and
Yeah.
to a certain extent with Singapore or even Dubai, you know.
Look, I can't really speak. You see, the problem is you're speaking to certain nations which have a very different demographic of people. The Chinese in Hong Kong, the Koreans, the Japanese,
Well,
Singaporeans.
Dubai, you know, that's made of the Middle East.
Dubai is a different. Dubai managed it. First of all, it took Dubai a long time to get there. But you see, the thing with Dubai is that Dubai didn't become what it is because they taxed the people, and the natives, Emiratis, worked hard and diligently and plowed the land no, their money came out of the ground for nothing, and America helped them build the refineries and the drilling equipment and all that industry in order to benefit America, of course, but it also, because the money was so much, it was literally all the sheikhs, all the corrupt people at the top had their fill, their bellies were full, and whatever fell off the master's table built Dubai. Believe it or not, Dubai is what it is off the scraps of what fell off the master's table, off the sheikhs, the Emiratis table. Is not.
And most of their people are still enslaved, aren't they? Like there's a very
there's a
side.
yeah.
Well, it's not really their people. It's people they've imported as workers.
No, the actual Emiratis themselves, not all of them are running around millionaires and living the high life. Although they have a lot of facilities, the Emiratis, the Kuwaitis. You know, Kuwaitis can retire at like 43 on a £10,000 a month pension.
Is that because that they're native?
Yeah, because they're Kuwaiti. The only Kuwaitis get that. Non-Kuwaitis don't get anything. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Nada.
Yeah, that's kind of like the thing. Like, even if we, the white British, become a minority, it wouldn't be great if we were treated as well as like they were in Dubai, you know.
But you won't be, because you guys believe in equality and bullshit like that. The Kuwaitis don't have any of those moral conundrums of look at all these other people who are not living the same. No, fuck all those people. We are Kuwaitis. These people are some foreign scum that we'll chuck out of our country at any given moment. Literally at any given moment.
Yeah, a lot of the peoples of the Middle East are like that. That's how, we've got the Qataris living it up in Mayfair. They've got slaves from all over the world in their fucking base.
Yeah,
you know
they bring their manservants. You're right.
And
they bring their manservants.
They're owning and they're running shit tips like Al Qaeda, ISIS, Hamas, and all the filthy rest of them, right? Who they're bringing in to destroy us, to get us cooked under their thumbs as well.
Yeah, but the problem is, you guys in the West, although it is part of your great nature, you have a suicidal empathy tendency, and the fact that you want to actually have everyone live as equals in your country.
Honestly, too much of a sweeping statement. Don't apply it to all of us in the West, okay?
It's mostly do, though.
Emotionally challenged nut jobs. Do you know
Come
what I
on,
mean?
Lieutenant. I was on Dino Bain. No, actually, Dino Bain was on. I don't know if I think you guys know Dino Bain on Jupiter's panel. And the minute I suggested that we should just fill up some military aeroplanes with these foreign illegals and parachute them off over Africa, He was all like, no, I mean, I can't possibly, no, we can't do that. I'm like, dude.
He's a minority.
But the fact is that I am fully on maybe that's my Iranians or maybe that's my Middle Eastern savage side, but I am fully on board with parachuting these fuckers over Africa.
Over Africa.
I wouldn't lose what I will parachute 1,000 for illegals over Africa and sleep like a baby that night.
Give me the keys to the plane and I'll drive them straight to Komodo
You drive,
Island.
I'll do the pushing.
Yes, Komodo Island, here we come, let them play with the fucking dragons. You know what I mean?
I have
but that's only
no
4%
qualms
of the
about that.
problem. That's only 4% of the problem. What are we going to do about the 96% who got their fucking visa stamped? And they came over on a plane?
You revoke.
They're just as bad.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
unfortunately, Lieutenant, you see, you guys think that paperwork is like somehow carved into stone into the foundation of the earth.
I don't.
You know, a passport burns very well, very easily. You can revoke
I know that.
citizenships like that.
There's this thing called the M25 bubble.
Well, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean? We need answers. We need to fucking
Miss
go
Lieutenant,
through this place
again,
like a dicky comb. Do you know what I mean?
the
place is jumping.
It's your suicidal empathy. Now you're
It's
saying
not
you
my
don't have it.
suicidal empathy. Don't talk.
It's your people, man. It's your people. It ain't my people. My people would parachute these fuckers in a heartbeat. My people have no problem killing 40,000 of their own people. They did that in January. That's how savage my people are.
Not one of my forebearers has given consent to any of this crap, so don't say your people for me. It's those people out there.
Well, no, that's the big divider with the Middle East and Europe, is that the Middle East is primarily a shame-based culture, whilst the West or Europe is primarily a guilt-based culture.
But all I'm saying, James, don't look at me as the foreigner when I give you the solutions and you just are too squirmish to carry it out. If you lose your bottle when the shit gets rough and you have to push out some Somali out of a plane over Eritrea, and you're like, well, but he has to walk all the way to Somalia. Well, he fucking walked all the way from Somalia to Europe. If he can walk from Somalia to Europe, he can walk from Eritrea to Somalia. That's literally next door. Don't get squirmy. Don't get don't lose your spine when the moment comes to Spartan kick some Eritrean out of a plane. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it would be at least nice to at least create a base for them in Somalia for them to move. And
Fuck off. They came here illegally. There's not one migrant in this country that is here legally, James. Not one of them has received consent.
Yes,
I'm not finished. Don't talk over me. There is not one of them that has received the consent of the people of this land to be here. Not one. You know how? Because none of us have ever been asked. And that's illegal.
Yes, but there are
the
multiple,
end.
There are
yes, but me, child.
Okay. There are multiple generations of Somalis that have lived here and don't know any better. So
they have no right being here. The end.
But they've been brought up in a British culture. They've been brought up in a British culture, not a Somalian culture.
Not my problem.
James, the thing is,
my forebearers made this place for me to live in.
Look, the problem is, you guys, James, you're going right to the exception whilst not dealing with the majority. I tell you what, we start with all the criminals in the prisons that are non-British, non-native, okay? We start with them. That's in itself tens, if not hundreds of thousands. Then we go to, people who passively or actively supported criminals such as grooming gangs, etc., or are actively involved in some form of criminal activity. We denaturalize most of them, in fact, all of them, and they become no longer citizens. Those who currently are waiting to become citizens, who have no, legal rights to stay here. Parachutes all the way across the board. If by the time we get to your Somali family that's been here for the last, their great grandfather came on some what's it called, the
Illegally.
Windrush or some shit back in the 70s or 60s.
Didn't receive my consent.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, by the time we get to that, millions had already gone. Entire lanes on the M25 has opened up. No more Starbucks queues. No more issues at the NHS.
Yeah,
Your
but-
dental appointment is seen immediately.
But James.
So when it comes to the Somalians who are like diagnosed as send, are we supposed to just like take care of them here, or will there be
What do you
bail
mean?
somewhere?
Are they criminals?
No, they're just send. You know, like special educational needs.
Oh, they've got
That's
special.
not our problem.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
so we deported them to Somalia, and they just starved to
but
death.
what I mean is, are they
I don't
citizens?
know
Are,
what
are,
does,
which
how does
category do they
Somalia
fall
deal
under?
with their own people. That's not my problem.
I know, but no,
My
they're-
first
they-
priority is my people. That's the law.
right, and the
you not
majority,
abiding by that makes you a traitor.
regardless
All
of
right?
your own,
That makes you a criminal.
regardless of your own feelings about this.
This isn't about feelings, sweetheart. Little boy, this isn't about feelings. This is about the law. This is about rule and order.
Guys, one at a time.
This
one
is
at a time.
about the law, James.
Okay. Now,
It's not
Lieutenant,
about
let James go.
The British public are not going to consent in deporting a lot of.
How do you know? You haven't asked them. They've never been asked if any of these people are allowed to come here, and it's their home.
Medically retarded Somalis to Somalia who lived all their lives in Britain.
I'm not
Right,
interested
but
in
the
emotional.
majority of the
I'm
British
not
public, which you
interested
speak
in
for,
emotional abuse.
I'm being
Do
as
not try to
pragmatic as I
manipulate
can.
No, I understand, James. You see, the thing is, as I said, I think you're going to the exceptional case rather than dealing with the majority of the case. Once you deal with the vast majority of non-retarded inbred Somalis who are either came here illegally or have committed some sort of crime and need to be denaturalized and then sent, once you deal with all of that, then your country will have gaps and space available to manage the inbred retarded Somali that's great grandfather came during the Windrush or whatever. So the fact is, there is room for accommodation once you get rid of the vast that crap off the top. But you're never going to get rid of that crap off the top if you're just going down, drilling straight down to that little retarded Somali kid, because you want to pull on the heartstrings of that.
Well,
whilst there's all of this shit here.
How am I supposed to stop future Somalians coming here? You know,
How?
I need to give them a better incentive to stay.
Dude, I'm telling you, you parachute one lot of illegals over Africa and you put that on social media, no one legally will not risk to come to this country. In Heathrow, people will be like, guys, I don't want to be parachuted. Am I okay to stay? I'm just coming for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just want to see Buckingham Palace.
Our NHS and our welfare system are fanny magnets, foreign magnets, right? They come
Fanny
here
magnets.
So you agree?
I'm not finishing. They are destroying that. They are destroying it. I see it on the regular. I see people, my people, in hospital, and they're not getting better because the staff can't even string a simple fucking sentence together for them. They're dying because of these fuckers. And that's my priority, my people, by law. Not some fucking Somali SEND. Okay?
Right. So you agree that the welfare state needs to get rid of.
Well,
was that a question?
Again, it needs to be selective.
Oh, no.
I think the welfare state needs to have massive guardrails put on it.
Define to me what the welfare state is. What those three words, the welfare state.
Taxpayers' money goes to people who can't provide for themselves.
I don't think there should be an end to that. No, I think we should always look after our vulnerable people. Vulnerable people. And that is in law because our laws and our systems are based on the laws in the Bible. Okay,
No, the
that's
thing
what
is,
makes
the
this.
thing is,
Hang on,
Lieutenant.
hang on. That's what makes this a Christian country, whether you follow that or not. Okay, and I do think we always need to look after our vulnerable. Our
So why can't we
vulnerable are not the French vulnerable, are not the Somali vulnerable, are not any other vulnerable other than the English, Scottish, and Northern Irish and Welsh.
So
Not
what's wrong?
British, because
So
that's a
what's
load
wrong?
of political bullshit.
So
Okay,
what's wrong with?
but we
So what's
do
wrong with
need to
charity?
have we do need to have safety nets for our vulnerable people. Yes.
So yeah, charity. You don't need the government involved, right?
I didn't say charity.
No. She's saying actually having a welfare state,
You don't
but
get
for
to
the
throw it out
English,
either
Scots,
side.
and the Welsh and the Northern
Why
Irish.
can't you have
It's
charity?
something for us all to decide
Why does the
moving
government
forward
get
when we've got
involved?
rid of the foreign interference in our country out.
Right, but
Brendan
the
is
fact
asking.
the symptom of the problem is welfare. All right, that's the reason why we
No,
are in this mess in
no.
the first place.
The problem isn't the welfare system. The problem is people letting people come into our home to abuse our systems and use up all of our resources.
Do you know why? It's
Yes, I do,
because
because there's a Luciferian order wanting this shit to happen, to destroy us.
no, it's because we
No, I've just spoke the truth. I
no.
disagree with you.
Well, if the
You just
truth.
said no, when what I said is the truth.
All right. Well, listen to what I have to say about that.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. It's because we've empowered the opposite gender, and they decided that they don't want to have children early. They want to focus on their careers.
That's part of the problem, yes.
Yes, and therefore we
It's not the
want
only
we want to have a welfare state where we're taken care of in old age or all this stuff. But if we're not having enough children to provide the future taxpayers to provide for that, then we're basically in a.
You're going to end up in an
situation.
upside down economy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the incentive. That's why we've been importing all these workers to be basically the children that we chose not to have.
That's the line. That's the line. That's the reason why we're bringing them in. But yes, you are bringing up an important part of the massive machine that the Luciferians are using against us.
So if we didn't have the welfare state in the first place,
hang on. No, I'm not finished, James. I'm not finished. Don't cut me off like that. So when the Luciferians brought in the sexual revolution of the 60s, right? That's what that was all behind. Turning man against woman and empowering the woman unreasonably so. And now you've got both man and woman going out to work and doling their children's childhood out to some creche worker, right? And they've got the whole economy in disarray, and they're bringing foreigners in, and they're saying that that's to help us, but it isn't, because it only just dismantles and destroys and exhausts our systems and everything that we've got anyway, right? So yeah, it's all part of it. What you've said is valid, but it's not the only reason. It's one part of the whole machine, James. And no, that doesn't justify getting rid of a welfare system at all. I disagree with that entirely. And as far as the charities are concerned, the vast majority of them are owned by the Luciferians. When you follow the chain of command and you look at the heads of them, they're involved in the child sex trafficking and bringing all of these foreigners in as well.
You're a Christian, aren't you?
No.
No.
No. My name is Lieutenant. I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
I've
well,
never declared to be. I've never declared to be a
you were
Christian.
justifying this being.
I've never declared to be a Christian.
But you are just justifying this country as a Christian country.
I have not justified anything. I have said the reason why this country is regarded as a Christian country, and it's because our laws and our systems are based in the rules that are in the Bible. That doesn't mean I'm saying I'm a Christian, or it doesn't mean I'm justifying Christianity. I'm saying that that's our rules, and that's why they're there.
All right, just checking.
Checking what?
No, I just got confused. Like, thought you were in favor of the Christian norms of this country, and therefore.
I don't know what Christian norms are. There's lots of different.
Well,
before the
hang
on, I'm still speaking. Yeah, there's lots
right.
of different types of Christians who have their own different norms. So, what's Christian norms?
Well, the fact that we would have the church to take care of the poor, and the downtrodden.
To take care of? No, that never happens. I mean, they say that.
What are you talking about? It's well documented,
They say that, but that never happens.
Well, the point is, if you come on bad luck, you go to the church, they'll provide you food and lodging, and you would,
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna wrap this up now because it's coming up to 3 hours. Guys, final thoughts. Let's start with James and then go to Lieutenant.
Well, I'm trying my best to be pragmatic and to diagnose at the problem rather than focusing on the symptoms. So, if we focus on removing the welfare state, then, like I said, most of our problems will be solved, and we need to focus on not only giving options to the foreign people in our country a better destination that will incentivize them to go back to their country of home birth, but also to make sure our own people have a good incentive to get back into work and to have children and not be, their souls poisoned by this welfare state and modernity and all that stuff that it brings. Anyway, take care, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, James.
God bless.
Have a good one. Lieutenant, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll pray for James' awakening, regardless of how rude it may have to come in. I don't know, but I'll hope that he gets some scope at some point, and a bit more energy. There's a lot more to this conversation. I could just go on talking about it all night, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's probably best not to 10:30 at night. I don't get too wound up.
Oh my God, it's 10:30. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Thank you for having me again, Bouncy.
Thank you for coming.
With you.
Always lovely to have you. And yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually done a live stream like this.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Thing is, I'm torn between does the channel, do the people who watch the videos on the channel, do they want this type of format, or do they want me out on the streets? Like there was a whole trans street thing. I'm at the moment a little bit indecisive which type of format I should focus on. Should I be just the guy on the streets or this type of thing? Because I know a lot of people like John and others would love to have a regular show like this, but they just don't want to host it themselves. They would like to jump on. I know you're not like a massive fan with John, but you know what I mean. Just generally, all feedback that I'm getting is that there is an audience out there who wants this on a regular basis. I just don't know whether if I do it regularly, more and more people I think will come because they know it's happening.
Oh yeah,
often.
I think they will, and they'll start splashing your link around here and there when I know there's an upcoming live stream. I always talk about you, tell them
love you,
place and pass the link on when you come up in conversation. So that's not a problem. You will get people coming if you do it on a regular.
Yeah, have you guys been still doing the Thursday thing? Because I lost track of that.
Yeah, past couple of weeks I haven't done it. This Thursday I was going to do it, but I couldn't be bothered, and last week I totally forgot. Well, the week before, I should say.
The thing is, I think
coming, I'm hoping to do it again. Sorry.
Yeah, if instead of necessarily doing a live one, you could always pre-record one when because I say it's a bit of a herding cats, trying to get everyone on that night at that time together to be able to do it. So if you can't, sometimes you might just think about just pre-recording one and then uploading it on that time.
Yeah,
so you'll
I'm
always
glad
have
you
the time
said
slot.
that. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because it's crossed my mind and then I haven't gotten around to doing that. But I think when it's something where I'm just going to be watching a video and doing a little bit of commentary on it, then I should pre-record it ready for when I know that I can't make it on a Thursday. Because sometimes I get invited out to the theatre nowadays.
Wow.
Which is very nice. And that happens on Thursday nights.
So there you go. You see, so you get things that happen on that night. So you might not be able to do the show exactly on that night. I've noticed this is a trick with YouTubers. They go on vacation and stuff, but they still want to have their channel, upload videos on a regular basis. So they pre-record a bunch of stuff for like a week's worth, and then schedule it to go up every night at whatever time. So
Well, that's right. I mean, consistency is the key. I learned that from
Yes.
AY, actually. He told me about that, and I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And I am noticing that my numbers are gradually increasing. And as soon as I stop doing something, though, then they drop. So I do think, I need to get something pre-recorded. So I've always got that going on a Thursday. And I've always got something on a Tuesday and Thursday afternoon going out. So at least those three things are always happening with the music,
Yeah.
and then the numbers will start creeping back up again.
Yeah,
So
100%.
if you're going to do this kind of thing, what are you thinking? Like once a week on a Saturday night or a different night?
This, yeah, maybe. I mean, definitely once, twice a week. But the schedule is a little bit worrisome for me because I don't necessarily have. I'm not in my place always. This is kind of a. Excuse me. This is a setup that I have here, but I'm not always here at this particular period in time. I'm looking after someone, as you know, so
Yeah.
I have to be at their place, and then I've got a sort of a setup over there. I mean, I recently bought a second-hand Mac, which is the one I'm taking on. I took on holiday with me, and it's a MacBook Pro, so it's working really well, and I can do shows like this off it. Before I didn't really have the equipment to do that, so hopefully I can do some shows when I'm not at my place, but still have the gear. So we'll see. It's a balancing act. It's something that I have to look into and find. At the moment, it's the location and time, and once I crack that, twice a week at least. I want to do something like this. We'll see. Anyway, I'll.
Well, I mean, even if you're in that other location, at least if you can have the tech to be able to set up and limit yourself to maximum 2.5 hours, because when you're in that location, you're not there to do this, are you? So if you are going to do this while you're there, maximum 2.5 hours, so that you're not feeling guilty for doing this while you're there.
Exactly.
And have the stuff with you and have it relatively lightweight. You don't want to be like carrying stuff around all over the place all the time, do you?
Yeah. That's what I mean. This was. I mean, when I went away for a week just now, I just came back, and that was like a test base, just to test the equipment, make sure it's all working, make sure it's reliable, and yeah, it's good. The laptop, surprisingly, is very good performance, everything. I mean, it's not even a new Mac. It's a refurbished, but does the job really well. I got to give Macs this. They may be a bit expensive, but they do the job really well. Right now, this PC that I'm running everything off, my processor, because even though I've got fans, I've actually got blocks of ice, but it's those ice you buy for camp for picnics and stuff. You know what I mean? The cooler type things, plastic ones. I've got that packed around my base unit, and my CPU is still burning at 84 Celsius. It's absolutely burning right now because it's just hot, and I don't have air conditioning, and I've got fans and stuff around the base unit, but the base unit is just burning up. So cooling at the moment is an issue, and this is the irony. It's like it's too cold. Sometimes it's too cold in the winter, and it's too hot in the damn summer. But the Mac doesn't have any of those issues. Mac runs regardless. It's all good. So yeah, it's all good. Thank you, my love. I will catch up with you soon, I'm sure. Have a wonderful night.
You too. God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for Lieutenant, thank you for James, and thank you everyone in the chat. I'm just going to run through real quick. Alpha, the first one, thank you for the comments. So I've still got his last comment up as well. He or she, I don't know. Brendan, thank you. Who else? I mean, I think I had Yeti. Oh, Based Welshman, of course, Based came up for a very short amount of time. Unfortunately, I think Based on his mobile phone has issues with Restream, so I'm sorry about that, Based. There was one other person. Smiley, big up to yourselves and thank you for coming. Loafer Sheffield. Is it Loafer Sheffield? Yes, thank you. There was Zara B. Zara B's gone, but love you, Zara. Thank you for coming. We don't politically align, but still love you. It's all good. And I think there was no, there wasn't anyone else. I thought I saw maybe Cheeky Chops, but there was no Cheeky. I didn't see Cheeky Chops here. But if you did come on board, Cheeky, thank you for coming. Love you, man. I'll catch you over at CT's. Okay, guys and girls, thank you so much for coming on. Now I'm going to share my screen and actually play a track which is from Amelia's. This Amelia. It's not who it works. Oh, I see. She's talking to Alpha. She's talking. It's not. Oh, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. Okay. Yeah. Let me share this bad boy and play us out with this particular track. This is our play out track. This is the track for Rupert Lowe, sung by Amelia. So take it away, my girl Amelia. Let me see. There we go. No, prefer it this way. No, prefer it this way. Go on, Amelia. Take us out.
If you're tired of woke politics and sanctimonious pricks, if you love your nan and don't want to alarm her, and you're sick of weak men like Charles and Starmer, if you can't stand them, here is your anthem. From the Highlands of Scotland to valleys of Wales, from the streets of Belfast to the Shires and the Dales, we were promised protection, we were promised. They turn their backs on our daughters and youth. The gangs roam the streets while cameras look away. Our mothers and sisters walk in fear every day. They knew what was happening and we know who to blame. They filed it under sensitive and buried it in shame. Starmer's got his talking points, the king's got his crown. When accountability knocks, no, they're not around. Politically correct while the children pay the cost. That's not being righteous, mate, that's just being lost. Millions must go vote for Rupert Lowe. I'm not saying it's just for show. How do we fix this? I don't know. Dead weight won't help us grow. Everybody looking for a savior, asking where is he? Young men of Great Britain, it's time to get busy. Rupert Lowe's a real man, not afraid to take a stand. Rise up across this mighty land. For the sisters and the mothers and the daughters of this isle, who deserve to walk in safety, who deserve to walk with pride, while the men in power posture and they preen and they perform. Real men stand up and shelter those they love from every storm. England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland, 4 nations, one voice. The establishment made their choice, now we make ours. No more looking up and waiting for permission to be heard. Every ballot cast in anger is louder than a word. They'll call you far right for asking basic questions. They'll call you dangerous for demanding child protection. Funny how the moderates always moderate for them, while victims wait for justice they will never see again. Millions must go vote for Rupert Lowe. I'm not saying this just for show. How do we fix this? I don't know. Dead weight won't help us grow. Everybody looking for a savior, asking where is he? Young men of Great Britain, it's time to get busy. Rupert Lowe's a real man, not afraid to take a stand. Rise up across this mighty land. They had the reports, they had
Beautiful
the names, they had the
canopies.
files. They chose
Look at
careers
those.
over children,
Look at
for
those. I
years
imagine
over
I was over
miles. You
Africa.
wanna know what's really politically incorrect? A government that protects its image over its kids. That's the scandal, that's the shame. And we're not forgetting a single name. Must go vote for Rupert Lowe. From Inverness to Cardiff, let the whole nation know. We're done with the excuses and the carefully scripted show. Dead weight won't help this nation grow. Everyone is looking for a savior, asking where is he? Young men of Great Britain, it's time to get busy. Rupert Lowe's a real man, not afraid to take a stand. Rise up, Great Britain, rise and stand. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. Vote low, vote low.
All right, guys. Thank you. You see those beautiful canopies open? Just parachutes, glorious parachutes. Peace. Have a good night.